We can do it. That was the first I'd heard of you, heard from you for weeks. As you said, you were traveling, whatever. Right?
Well, yeah,
next Friday we'll do it. And then I get an email saying, make a public statement addressing the fact that you said I was laughed off stage, or I won't have you on next Friday. And I thought, Brian, I thought you wanted me to address this publicly. Wouldn't it be good to do it on the show? And then you emailed me and emailed me, and I was like, you're making it was strange because you were making it impossible for me to do the very thing you were asking me to do.
The reason why I was hesitant to
Brian's been warning all week that he's going to go hard at Warren. Yeah, I heard. I'm surprised Warren keeps going back, because every time Warren's on there, like, I never seen Warren lose his cool, but Brian just has that ability to bring that out on people. Warren always gets like fed up with Brian, and it's pretty entertaining to see. So here we go. Let's see how this latest episode of Bryce Shapp and Warren Smith goes down.
It means that people are noticing what I'm doing, whether they agree or disagree with me, or they enjoy mocking me, whatever the case, it means I'm doing something right because I'm being noticed. So that really doesn't bother me.
Oh, it's his cope. He's been coping now ever since that racial debate. Like, he's been coping hard about, listen, I'm fine. You're helping me. You're helping me. You're actually helping me. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with all the hate that it gets. It doesn't bother me at all. I swear it doesn't bother me.
This clickbait, and when they make videos of,
oh yeah, and then he has one of his issues with Warren is that Warren makes videos about him, which Warren makes videos about a lot of people. I don't know why he takes issue with Warren making videos about him, and Brian makes videos about Warren. So I don't know what his deal is.
Money off of it. I could probably name you 20 or 30.
Snacks a lot. Thank you very much for becoming a member to the Coolverse. Hell yeah, now you're a documented citizen, brother. Thank you very much.
Every single day. All right. So with that being said, without further ado, I understand that there are a lot of people on the right that maybe they see me as a threat.
Yeah,
maybe
that's
they see it as clickbait. And when they make videos about me, they make money off of it. I could probably name you 20 or 30 creators that
He's talking about me. By the way, 20 or 30 creators? No, Brian, there are not 20 or 30 creators making stuff about you. It's mostly just me. Everyone else that makes videos about you, it's because they've debated with you, or it's because of your appearance somewhere. But with me, I'm just making it because, I like making fun of you. And yes, it does make me a good amount of money. You're a locale. But thank you very much, Keith, for the 2 freedom. Yes, thank you very much, Keith, for freeing me from Brian's clutches. Let's go. That's the power of the Coolverse.
Show me that ding-alling. Nope, the Coolverse came through with the super chats, and they called the cops. Put your hands up. You're under arrest. No. You're all arrest me when a 34-count felon is president? You did it, Coolverse. That was a close one.
You did it, Coolverse. That was a close one. Hell yeah. That's the power of the Coolverse right there. Thank you very much, guys, for freeing me from Brian's clutches. Let's go. Let's get that super chat goal started again. Very smart of you guys, by the way, to call the police too. I didn't want to give him that super chat money. Hell no. Why should he get my super chat money? Hell no. So smart on you guys for calling the cops. Very much appreciated. It's actually like 50, actually. It was all over my feed. Even several VTubers covered the debate. Well, yeah, that's true. Covering the debate's one thing, but I think he's talking about covering it regularly. But yeah, that particular debate, the one against Rachel, that did go viral. There were a bunch of people covering that debate in particular. But in terms of a regular basis, it's usually just me. It's usually just me. Thank you very much, Snacks a lot, for gifting 5 Cool Vic memberships. And congrats to from Bumbley, Felix Sanchez, Cat Quack, DeFallen, Matthew JC. Awesome, guys. You guys are now members of the Coolverse. Thank you very much, Snacks a lot. That's what I call paying it forward. John Ruck, thank you for being a member for a month. Brian is an unwanted criminal, illegal, gay, leftist king of the Spurgs. Feminist. Thanks, Cool Vic. Cool Vic, love your videos. Keep up the great content. Thank you very much, John Ruck. I will. I appreciate you.
constantly make videos about me, literally on a daily basis. In fact, there are some podcasts that actually do a show about my show, some that have been doing it for years. And if that wasn't the case, then I would say to myself, I'm doing something wrong. It means that people are noticing what I'm doing, whether they agree or disagree with me, or they enjoy mocking me, whatever.
Who has been covering Brian for years? Now that's not about me. I haven't been covering Brian for years, so I don't know who he's talking about.
Whatever the case, it means I'm doing something right because I'm being noticed. So that really doesn't bother me. I shouldn't say the word bother, but what is annoying to me is when people completely misrepresent my opinions or lie about me. Now, this discussion or debate might be a little bit different than some of the other discussions and the other debates we've had. And Warren Smith has agreed to come on the show to have that discussion, and I do appreciate him coming on to do so. Warren, good to see you. Thanks for coming on. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So yeah, again, I don't know if you heard this or if my internet went out by that time, but like, basically he's mad because Warren Smith makes videos about him. But usually the videos Warren Smith makes about him usually are from Warren Smith's appearances on his show. And that's what Warren Smith does. He makes videos on several people. So I don't know why Brian thinks like he's special or something, like Warren only makes videos about him. And in terms of misrepresenting Brian, no, I think Warren Smith gets it pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Doing okay, Warren. So as you know, I have some gripes with some of the videos you've done about me, some of the headlines, some of the titles, but this isn't anything new because we've had these conversations before, but I just wanted to ask you about them and bring the receipts if that's okay, because I'm confused and I don't understand. So you did this show a few weeks ago, right? And I want to put up the first YouTube headline you put up, which is expert left speechless, anti-racist expert exposed by his own racism.
Yeah, well, where's the lie there? But I always find it funny when other like people who are on YouTube, like they get confused by like the headlines or the thumbnails. By the very nature of the YouTube titles and the thumbnails, if you want anybody to look at them, they have to be a tad bit clickbaity, just a tad. Now, I'm not saying straight up lie, like promise something that never happens in the video. That's just pure clickbait. But it has to be kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of like with tabloids, sensational. It has to be a little sensationalist, you know, if you want people to click.
Where did I say that he was an expert on racism? I don't understand. Let's start there.
When I was on the show,
Where did I say he was an expert on racism? Dude, literally, you told Warren, I'm going to find a guy that you have to talk to about racism. So, yeah, I mean, he seems to know a little something about racism, right, Brian?
said, I'm going to bring on someone from the NAACP or whatever that organization is.
Yeah, which I didn't.
And then,
yeah.
Okay, well, I thought you were going to bring on someone who could grapple with my ideas more thoroughly.
Yeah, so a guy by the name of Santana who was supposed to come on, who's I wouldn't say he's an expert either. He had canceled last minute, and this gentleman, who I even himself would say is not an expert, he just happens to be an African American and a friend of a friend, and I needed to find somebody last second to come on to be able to debate you because I didn't want to cancel.
So Brian was just like, oh, okay, because originally it's supposed to be the head of the NAACP. That's who Brian was going to bring on. He was like, you should talk to the NAACP about racism. And so I guess he couldn't find it. So Brian, I guess, was just like, I need a black guy. Quick. I called Brian. Hey, do you know a black guy? Which, by the way, he said friend of a friend. I thought Brian was friends with many black people. That's what he claims. He has all these gay friends. He has all these trans friends, black friends. He's a very diverse group of friends. So he doesn't know a black guy himself. He had to call a friend to see if they knew any black people.
Cancel it.
Okay,
and
you sent me his profile, and I saw that he was like a TikTok debater, and I thought that was his realm.
Yeah, that's Santana, who canceled last minute. Yep.
Yeah, if the theme of this podcast is going to be that you don't like my YouTube titles, fair enough. You know.
Well, no, but I just want to understand why you do that. Like, first of all, was he left speechless? He was speechless.
By the way, Brian does the same thing with his titles. You look at his titles and his thumbnails, he does the same. That's what I talk about. Like, it's so funny to me when other content creators ask other people about their thumbnails and titles, like as if you don't also understand what the nature of YouTube is. Like that's what you kind of have to do here. But Brian is like, well, speechless. He wasn't, you didn't literally take away his speech, Warren. So what the hell are you talking about?
In the debate?
There were times I don't think he could.
Okay, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I really don't. Can we put up that other clip? He wasn't speechless, Warren. It's just not true. You said Brian Shapiro brought in the best expert he could find to educate me. That's not true. I just explained to you that.
Okay, well, my understanding is that you were going to bring someone on who could more
Even Warren's laughing. Like everyone, I'm surprised Brian hasn't asked, why are you laughing?
thoroughly grapple with the flaws of my arguments.
Okay, so
I
is
thought
that
was the whole point of bringing someone else on other than
I
yourself.
agree. But sometimes guests cancel. I told you that Santana canceled last minute. I had to find somebody. So, and by the way, I told you that Santana had canceled.
I don't remember that. I don't know who Santana is.
Okay. All right. Put up the next one. Let's try this again. They kicked me off the show.
Yes.
When have I?
By the I love that. That's a great thumbnail, Warren. By the way, I used a similar. I took a similar screenshot from that debate so I could use it for my thumbnail too, because Brian just looks so unhinged in it. But now he's gonna. Is this really just gonna be a lecture on the videos Warren makes about Brian?
Ever kicked you off the show?
So so that one, after I logged off, the callers were very upset with me over my racism, and you claimed that, yeah, I'm skeptical about having him on. It's good. This was a while ago. I like having someone who can disagree with me, but this is pretty racist stuff. It is shocking. So I'll have to think. I hear your feedback. Everyone was calling for me not to be allowed on, but again, these are YouTube titles.
Yeah.
So
Did I kick you off the show?
this is similar to. Did I see you kicked? Literally last week. You said, Warren, unless you make a public apology, you're not allowed back on this show.
No, the reason why I didn't want you back on, to be honest with you, Warren, is and I'm being completely honest. I think
So you kicked me off the show.
Well, no, I didn't kick you off the show. Kicking you off the show, like right now, yeah, I haven't done that.
Fair enough.
I haven't done that. Well, I know you say fair enough, but you keep these stupid titles up there that are not true.
Because they're YouTube titles, Brian.
Yeah.
Well, who cares? They're dishonest titles. Why can't you be honest with your YouTube titles? Now, you can have an opinion. You can have an opinion that says, I think I destroyed Brian in a debate. Here's why. That's fine. You have the right. I don't know why you're laughing. You have the right.
There it is. There's one for the Brian Shep bingo card. I don't know why you're laughing. Why are you laughing? The Brian Shapiro story. See, that's a question Brian asks a lot because everyone just starts laughing right in his face because he is such a silly, ridiculous human being. Like, really, like even words like you're having me on to ask me about my YouTube titles, which again, Brian being a content creator himself, I know his main job is a 20-year radio host, but he also makes content for YouTube, and he should also understand the nature of YouTube. It's so silly.
Okay.
Because you're dishonest.
Okay,
you're dishonest.
Brian, the one that seemed to spark me being banned from the show was the last one, where I said you were laughed off stage. And technically, I would like to apologize to you officially, publicly, because technically you were not laughed off stage.
We'll get to that, Warren. We'll get to that.
Laughed at on stage. You're right. There's a difference.
We'll get to that, Warren. I know you want to be condescending. Warren, we'll get to that.
Condescending.
I promise you, I want to talk to you about that also. Bring up the next one.
Okay.
This left him speechless. Liberal host goes silent. First of all, I
was not silent. I kept talking throughout the whole show. I'm a radio host. I've been a radio host for 20 years. I have to talk on the radio. So what do you mean I was speechless? I was literally talking for the rest of the show, Warren.
Lean to the left, but as I've told you numerous times on this show, I'm a registered independent that didn't vote for Hillary or Obama. So you lie when you say I'm a liberal. That's not factually accurate. And then you laugh.
Again, that's another one for the bingo card, though. I'm not a liberal. Okay, literally, he used to be on the Occupy Democrats network. Mr. Independent Centrist. I didn't vote for Obama, therefore I'm not a liberal Democrat. But he was on the Occupy Democrats network. Like, come on, Brian.
but I catch you in a lie. When have I ever been left speechless in my 22-year radio career?
Brian, first, we had an entire debate, you and I, over the claim that you're not a leftist, which I understand. I don't like labels either. This is the game of YouTube. But when we go through your ideology, all of your claims fall on the left. Like all of them.
Let's go with that.
I don't think it's unfair to me.
Yeah, seriously, Rachel, like I insist that this has to be some kind of troll character. It has to be. Like, no way is Brian Shapiro like a real person. Like, there's something, like, either he's not a real person or there is something wrong with him. He needs to be studied.
Grappling with the leftist, or at least leftist ideology. I don't even remember what that video was about.
It doesn't matter.
I couldn't tell you which part you were speechless.
It doesn't matter. What you're saying is not true. First of all, I'm for border security. I'm for capital punishment. For the first 30 minutes of the show, I've been blasting Democrats, and I don't want. I was, saying Kamala shouldn't run again. I gave a bunch of reasons why. I took a lot of flack on social media today. This is something that I do on a regular basis. You never, hardly ever, maybe 0.1% of your videos are ever, criticizing Donald Trump for anything. Put up the next one. And by the way, I've never been speechless on my show either, so I don't know what the hell that means. Tim Pool goes off on guest. Tim Pool leaves. Oh, there you go again. Liberal guest, speechless. Why do you keep saying I'm speechless? I did a 3-hour debate with Tim Pool, and then after that debate, I did an in-person debate with him and Myron Gaines, and Tim Pool would be the first one to tell you, okay? I've never been speechless on his show. I certainly have never been speechless. Okay, so
this one you're literally like, you can't say anything.
Calling you a racist.
Oh, goodness, dude. Oh, man. Oh, dude, this is crazy. When I clip this video and I put it up on my YouTube channel, I'm gonna put Brian Shapiro was left speechless by Warren Smith. Oh my god. I think if you make videos about Brian, make sure you put he was speechless, because that really bothered him.
Okay, well, me calling you racist is just an expression, okay?
Okay, I'm not complaining, dude.
Okay. I don't care. You make videos about it. I know you don't care. He called me a racist. He kicked me off.
You can make videos and do whatever YouTube titles you want to do.
I didn't say you couldn't do it. That's not the point of this conversation.
But you banned me from the show for it.
When have I banned you from the show? Okay.
You said I can't come on the show unless I make a public apology. So I offered to do it last Friday.
Okay,
which you asked me initially to do.
Yeah, the far leftist left speechless. Yeah, I'm gonna put far left liberal Brian Shapiro left speechless over Warren Smith. She's like, you fuckers, you have MAGA supporters with the MAGA wax in your ears. How dare you? I'm never speechless. Sorry for using the Lord's name in vain, by the way, but thank you very much, Keith, for the 2. What's your ice cream? It's frozen cream. Ice out. Nice, Keith. Thank you very much for the 2. Thank you very much, John Maria Smith, for the $4.99. Why does Brian always sound like he's gobbling my mush? I don't like it. Gross. I don't like it either. Thank you very much, John Maria, and thank you very much, FB, for the $9.99. Andrew made a good point. Destiny and other leftists don't realize criticize Brian Shapiro for losing debates, which probably means he's still on good terms with them. We don't really. Oh, and other leftists don't really criticize Brian Shapiro for losing debates, which probably means he's still on good terms with them. Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much, FB, for the $9.99. Oh my goodness. I'm going to be left speechless for laughing too hard. I'm going to be left speechless.
But then you said, no, I want you to do it in. It was bizarre. In email, and
here's what's bizarre.
4 emails in one day.
I did, and I'll get to that. For the last several weeks, I've made multiple trips, and I've taken time off of work, which I also emailed you. Not that you deserve any explanation, because I don't owe you one. You can continue that weird laugh, or you can pay attention more, and it's up to you. I went to California. Okay, I went to Cal Berkeley with the Uncensored America tour. I had to take several days off from work. I then took a trip to North Carolina to do a debate. I had to take several days off from work.
Against who?
You're not tops on my priority list, Warren. I don't.
Against who, Brian? Who did you have to go to North Carolina for that debate with? Against who? Which debate was that, Brian? Say it. Who was it against?
I have to get back to you right away. Okay?
I'm not worried about it.
All right. Well,
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's not that you being worried. It's about you're being dishonest. I never blocked you or banned you.
Or what, Brian? What are you? What period of time are you talking about?
The last couple of weeks, you put up a video claiming that because of your appearance with this guy.
That's what triggered this, right? It was that tweet where I said, ever since this debate, I haven't heard from him. That's all I said.
You think
I never said anything in which I had it. True or false? Had I not heard from you since? That's all I said, and that's what you got upset about.
You're insinuating, because you're making the insinuation that somehow I banned you or something. Well, that's what you were doing.
Literally.
But Brian literally said, I'm not going to have him on the show because all of Brian's fans started complaining, all 5 of them. And he was like, don't worry, I'm not going to have him back on his show. Because everyone was like, oh my gosh, how could you have that racist on there, Brian? He was so racist. And he's like, yeah, he was racist. Don't worry, guys. I ain't going to have him back. It's on his show. It's up on his channel. Thank you very much, Keith, for the 2. I'm going to use Mushroom Gobbler for Efsler. It's nice. Thank you very much.
True. That's what we're doing now. Another one. You can put up another one, Justin. Another host left.
You prepared all of this?
Yeah, because your titles are like that of what a buffoon would do. Why do you keep doing that? Put up another one. Put up another one. Let's have fun with
titles, this, man. Not the video.
Is peace? Well, you're dishonest.
Did I say anything you would disagree with? Any points I've made, or just titles?
Well, you say things that are not factually accurate.
Like what?
I try to negotiate peace with the left. Guess what, Warren? I'm not the left. I'm not the left, okay?
Okay.
I'm not the left. Well, yeah, okay.
I think. Okay, go ahead.
Radio host challenges me live on air. Best debate of my career. Typical TDS.
That's one of my favorites. What's wrong with that?
Okay, well, that's great. I'm so happy to hear that, Warren. So you said typical TDS.
Oh, yeah, he didn't challenge that. He didn't say the best of your debate career. Come on, Warren. Haven't you had better debates than me? I'm sure you have. The best debate of your career? That's being dishonest.
TS sufferer, Brian Shapiro, looks like a fool. I think you're a typical TS.
I said that? I never wrote that.
Okay, well, radio. Okay, that's what I see right here. If you're saying
that's
you didn't,
not my writing, Brian. Who wrote that?
If you didn't say that, then that's my fault, and I apologize. I will own that if you didn't write that. But I think you get.
It's not even from his account right here. Politically incorrect, dirty citizen. Yeah, he didn't even write that. Stupid Brian. Thank you very much, Ken, for the $5. What is he mad about this time? What did Warren do? Why is he so mad? He's mad because he doesn't like Warren's titles when Warren covers him. When Warren does a video on him, he doesn't like that he gets called speechless and referred to as a liberal or a lefty. And so Brian's like spurking out and lecturing about, why do you say I'm speechless? Was I speechless? So yeah, now I'm going to call, when I put up this video, I'm going to call it Brian Shapiro Left Speechless by Warren Smith. Thank you very much, John Aria, for the $4.99. Title, Super Duper Exclusively Far Left Brian Shapiro 100% speechless after having a swinging Pringle can of a mushin and around his mouth. Yeah, that would be pretty good. I'm not sure about TOS friendly, but that would be pretty good. Thank you very much, John Aria, for the $4.99. Whew, man. This is like just the beginning, by the way. He's on here for the rest of the radio show. Man, this is crazy.
I think you get I think you get the idea of where I'm coming from here. And I think
you were going to say before I got here, man. It's fun.
Okay, well, that's great. That's great. But your titles are not honest. Okay. I think they're it's okay to be opinionated. I certainly don't have a problem with somebody who is opinionated. I know you can think you destroy me in every debate, and you have the right to think that way. And I know a lot of your probably 99.9% of the people who watch your stuff are not on the left, who did not vote for Kamala Harris. I can guarantee you the wide over majority of the people who watch your YouTube videos are on the right. So of course they're going to agree with you. Obviously, that's what it is. I don't deny the fact that the majority of my listeners are probably on the left, okay? But when you make statements like I was laughed off the stage or I was laughed during the debate that I had with Rachel Wilson, are you aware of who was at that debate? Because it's just like when you come on my show and people want you thrown off and you see the comments of people that don't like you, that are calling you a racist and all this other stuff. When people are laughing at me and they're clapping for her, are you aware of the demo of the people that were in the crowd? Because I'll give it to you.
Yeah, how could I know who's sitting in the crowd? The camera doesn't show who's in the crowd, and why is it
Very good point, Warren. Very good point. So let me give you a little bit of context. There were only 2 Democrats that were in the crowd that day. My manager, who was there, and one other individual who was a fan of my show. Literally.
So only one person was a fan of Brian there? There was 2 people who are Democrats, my manager and my one fan in the audience. Picture him holding a little PTL flag. Yeah, Brian, woo, go Brian.
Every other person that was in the crowd was a Republican and a cult follower.
Yeah, exactly. Wasn't he saying he was selling out tickets? Yeah, I'm selling out all these tickets. Yeah, didn't Brian say he was selling out the tickets? Exactly. But now it's you only had one fan there. Yeah, Brian, woo. Yeah, Trump, 34 count felon, woo. Yeah, get that despicable Andrew Wilson, woo.
Of the Wilsons. So of course,
I used to, can I tell you this? This is interesting. My first 2 years in college were at that college. That's not a conservative college though. Why do you think that indicates the fact that there was no one there supporting you?
I didn't say it was.
No one came to see you. So does that is that a data point?
Why do I think that? Okay, so that's a different topic.
It's not like a conservative college. It's a public UNC college.
Sure. Do you know who put on this event?
No, I don't. But it was hosted at UNC Wilmington.
Don't you think that's kind of important that you might want to know?
People could attend it though, right? It's a public event, correct?
Let me explain to you, since you don't know who put on the event. And by the way, I've already given you context, as my phone's gone off here. I've already given you context as to who was there, and now I will give you more context as to the organizers who put it on.
Now he's gonna start freaking insulting the Uncensored America people now. You know, even though they paid him, you know, they accommodated him, but no, they were pieces of trash too. Thank you very much, John Aria, for the $1.99. His manager is fixable. I could fix her. All right. Well, good luck with that, John Aria. I wish you the best on that. Thank you very much for the $1.99. Yeah, Piers Morgan is calling me BRB. Exactly. How's it going, Red Eye?
Organizers who put on the event are Uncensored America. Now, Uncensored America, there are only a couple groups of people, a couple people that work with Uncensored America. Warren, do you know who they are?
I've heard the term, but what does that have to do with who attended the event and people not attending it to see you?
Has everything to do with it. Do you know the people that work with Uncensored America at all?
Chef Pizzle, what up, Vic? When is this from? This is from today. This is fresh off the press.
I'm guessing they're conservative.
Yeah, well, that's probably a good guess. But the only people that work with Uncensored America are the Wilsons, right-wing evangelicals, and Myron Gaines, who is a Holocaust denier. So there's a lot of
How many people were in the crowd, would you estimate?
But can you just I'll get to that, but what I just said, the people that associate themselves with Uncensored America are the Wilsons, who think that women shouldn't be allowed to vote, okay? And a guy by the name of Myron Gaines, who was a Holocaust denier, who
Brian's getting mad because Warren gets some information wrong, like calling him speechless and saying that he kicked him out and stuff. But yet he's still going on saying wrong things about the Wilsons. Like, even though Rachel clarified her position, Andrew as well, he's still going around saying they don't want women to vote. Even though it's about universal suffrage, they don't think everyone should just have the right to vote. There should be people excluded from voting. Thank you very much, Lion Brian, for the $4.99. Well, I might have only had one fan in the audience. I have 800,000 live radio viewers. Also, Myron Gaines runs Uncensored, and he's despicable. Thank you very much, Lion Brian. Thank you very much, John Aria, for the $4.99. I love how chill Warren is, and the only time we see him fired up is when he was defending those students against creepy Brian. Big respect. Yeah, big respect indeed. Thank you very much, John Aria.
Jews for dying in the Holocaust. Can you just acknowledge that for me?
I don't know any of this. So you're saying Andrew and his wife work with this organization? Okay.
Correct. And
how many people were in the crowd?
Maybe about 40. Or it wasn't a big crowd. Maybe 40.
Okay.
People. Yeah, wasn't a big crowd.
Okay.
Maybe 40 people. So I'm trying to give you a little bit of context. Like when people are on, are in the chat on this show, And we can put up the chat because I know there's probably a lot of people here that aren't very big fans of yours that would say things about you that you would probably.
Oh man, I wish I would have known about this. It would be funny if people would have just right wingers would have just been in the chat talking to Brian. That would have been great. His nonstop screaming is just peaking his mic the whole entire show. I can't believe his producer doesn't tell him to stop that. Yeah, I know exactly. That, you know, it's funny because for being a 20-year radio show host, he doesn't really have great audio, and he's always like, when it comes to technical stuff, he's actually very poor at it.
Disagree with. There's a lot of people that think you're a very boring, monotone person, that you're not entertaining, that some people think that you're a racist, right? And I'm sure a lot of Andrew Wilson fans probably, well, I don't think they think I'm a racist because I've never said anything that would be close to that, but they don't like me. They call me names and they laugh at me. And those were the kinds of people that were in the audience. So when you make a claim like Brian was laughed off stage, which by the way, didn't happen, the people that were laughing in the front row, okay, for most of the debate.
I like how Brian has to actually explain the technicalities. Well, technically it was because it was Andrew and Rob Knorr. They were the people laughing at me. You know, like he has to explain everything. Listen, Warren, listen, I wasn't actually laughed off the stage, okay? Just actually to explain everything for you. This person was front row, that person was front row, and they were the ones laughing at me, okay? So get it straight. So I want to see you retitle your YouTube title saying that Brian Shapiro was laughed off stage by Andrew Wilson, Rob Knorr, Avarice, and this person. There you go. Get your facts straight, bucko.
As I like to call them, the Andrew Wilson circle jerk team. It was
Right.
Andrew Wilson. Hold on. It was
Right.
Andrew
It was
Wilson.
funny. I was laughing. I wasn't there. I'm sure.
I think it's
funny.
well, I think it's really funny that people think you're really boring and you're a racist. I also think that's very funny. Very funny, Warren. It's very funny
Why
that
does
all
it bother you so badly?
It's bothering me. I'm just proving the point that you're a
very
liar.
defensive, Brad.
You're
This is
no.
extremely strange
Okay,
behavior.
okay. I think your behavior is very strange. That on all of your
Okay,
titles,
which piece of my behavior beyond my YouTube titles?
Right here on the comments that he has right here, pushing women with Brian Shapiro. That's good stuff. Thank you very much, Billy, for the $4.99. I might be an arsler, but it took several weeks before I realized you and Rob Knorr were two different people. You know, it's funny. I talked about that on my stream. I was like, there's a guy that keeps calling me Rob on my channel. I don't know if he's like joking or if he thinks I'm Rob Knorr, but yeah, I noticed that, Billy. Welcome to the cool stream, by the way, and thank you very much for the $4.99. It's all gravy, baby. It's all gravy. Thank you very much, John Aria, for the $1.99. Why are you laughing? Name of Brian's tape. Yeah. Well, I'm saying that I actually said it should be the name of his book if he ever writes an autobiography or has someone else write his biography. It should be called Why Are You Laughing? The Brian Shapiro Story. Thank you very much, John Aria Smith. Oh, but I get it. Tape. That kind of tape. All right. All right. Thank you very much, FB, for the $9.99. I actually, I don't know about that. I think there's a possibility that Brian Shapiro is racist because when Jesse Lee Peterson disagreed with him, he asked him if he ever talked to a black person. That's crazy. Thank you very much, FB, for the big 9.99. And also thank you, Xavier, for the 5. How many Shapiros could you take? I myself could take 12 before I get overwhelmed. Yeah. I think I can't deal with more than one. Thank you very much, Xavier.
Yeah, because, well, what do you mean beyond? All your videos. I can't find one video where you're saying, man, that Democrat really owned that Republican in that debate. You're a biased hack. That's what you are. Yeah, but prove me wrong. Prove me wrong on my show right now, because I was looking at your videos over the course of the last year. I didn't have time to go back further. I couldn't find one video of you analyzing a debate.
So why don't you send me one, Brian, that you think has enough interesting dynamics, and I'll analyze it.
For the history of the debates in
We've
any
had
of
this
your
conversation before, man.
Yeah, why
there's
not?
things I disagree with. It's
very
just,
credible. Yeah,
I have my perspectives and point of view as well.
I can go to debates and I could say that right winger probably beat that left winger debate. I mean, as we look.
Yeah, are you sure about that, Brian? By the way, look at Brian's YouTube. It's all biased too. It's all biased, just like when you have a channel, you have to cater to like a certain audience, like you just do. Doesn't mean that there's no room for nuance. Like, of course you could have nuance in here, but you're trying to cater to an audience. So yes, of course, like you're going to have like video titles catering to certain people. Again, Brian does it too. Like, so why is it like so bad that Warren caters to certain people or has a certain worldview? But why is it okay for Brian to have his worldview and cater to an audience, but not Warren? Like, why does Warren have to have like a certain amount of criticizing of Republicans, but Brian's not required to? Like, is Brian required to have videos praising Trump on anything? No, he's not. That's what I would ask him, is like, why don't you have more videos praising Trump? You know, and he'll probably like, that's because he's despicable and he's in the Epstein files more times than Jesus was in the Bible. And it's like, oh, brother.
Look at the comments, because we have a lot of fans of yours, Warren, in the comments. They're laughing you off the stage, Warren. They're laughing you off the show right now.
Here's the thing, Brian, is you can say that, but if it really isn't, if there's no dynamics to support it and it's really inaccurate,
there's a
like
dynamic.
if that's not actually happening on
There's
screen,
a dynamic. There is a dynamic.
Work.
I have my opinions. You have yours, right, Warren? I think it's working quite well.
It was funny. That's why it works.
Maybe it doesn't work with your audience, and maybe that's your definition of humor. But I think the reason why a lot of people on this show don't like you, for a lot of reasons, and I will agree with some of them, I think you're a very boring person to interview. I think you have no personality at all. You're not entertaining. You're not funny. You're ill-prepared. When I bring up topics like the Epstein files or other topics, even you on this show said, I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared for that. I think, and by the way,
I don't.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you don't know. There's people in this industry, you've done their shows, people on the right. They've told me in private conversations, multiple people, that it was a brutal interview with you, that you're boring.
Are you willing to say like who?
I will ask I will ask them if it's okay.
Was it Jack Posobiec? Was it Michael Knowles, Jack Posobiec, Piers Morgan, Tim Pool? Was that who you're talking about? Yet no one told him that. No one told Brian, hey, Brian, yeah, that interview you did is very boring. He's a very boring person to interview. Like, no one told Brian that. He's making it the fuck up. Again, if he's lying, he's Brian.
Okay with them. I was talking to one dude today that's a friend of mine, and he said it was one of the most brutal interviews he's ever done because you have no personality. Right now, you're getting.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. If he's genuinely friends with you, that tells me something about him. Like, I doubt he's held in high regard amongst.
So any of my friends, so none of my friends are held in high regard.
I would be surprised, honestly. Like, if they're genuinely friends with you.
Yeah. Do you know some people that I talk?
Yeah, if they're genuinely your friend, they're probably not held in high regard. That's hilarious, dude. Warren, let's go. That is fucking awesome. Thank you very much, Kevin, for the $4.99. Brian versus JF Garipe debating Black Lives Matter would be a good one. Yeah, I don't know who that is, but I'm sure it would be. Thank you very much for the $4.99, brother. And thank you very much, John Aria, for the $1.99. Brian's not a debater. He's a baiter of D. I agree with that. And thank you very much, everybody, for helping me complete that second super chat goal. Let's go. Here's your reward. Keep it gangster, dog. Keep it gangster. Keep it gangster, dog. Keep it gangster. Keep it gangster, dog. Keep it gangster. Keep it gangster, dog. Thank you very much, guys.
To on a regular basis.
I would be very surprised.
Very possible. You know who I talk to on a regular basis?
Who?
Jack Posobiec.
Tim Pool. What would you say about him?
Oh, Tim Pool. Oh, there it is.
Doesn't mind me saying that. I text him all the time. What's so funny?
No, Tim doesn't like me. I know that. He made a whole massive content.
Okay, I didn't ask you. No, but Tim, I consider Tim a friend, even though I disagree with him on a number of different things he says on the air. So
you guys hang out? Or has he had you? I know he's had you on his show, but you guys hang out?
We have hung out before. We've played poker together. We've had dinner together. Yeah, we have hung out. So what would you say about Tim? Are you gonna bash him now too because we're friends?
Would I I haven't met Tim.
Okay. What about Alex Stein? I don't have any friends on the right. What about Alex Stein's a friend of mine.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know. David Pollack has the highest rated show on OAN. He's a friend of mine.
I don't know who he is.
You don't know who?
Name drops, just name dropping. Are these people really genuinely friends with them? Do him and Alex Stein hang out together? And did Tim Pool willingly hang out with Brian and play poker, or was Tim Pool there for someone else and Brian was there? You know, like, come on. I don't believe any of these people are actually hitting up Brian like, hey, man, you know who needs to come here? You know who I really enjoy the company of? Brian Shapiro. That's the guy that we need over here. Thank you very much, Nerf and Strike, for the $4.99. This whole interaction essentially was a therapy session for Brian. He has so little self-awareness that he can't see how bad he looks. Pure cope. Yeah, he is addicted to the copium. Thank you very much, Nerf and Strike.
any of these people are, right? You don't know who Alex Stein is either?
I would probably recognize his face, but I don't.
Oh, wait,
recall
say
him.
again. So if somebody on the right is a friend of mine, that speaks volumes to their character. Is that what you're saying? Is that what your claim is on this show, Warren?
No,
that if I have
said
somebody that's, if I have,
So now whoever's running the YouTube side of Brian's show is now putting up comments from the chat right here just to stick it to Warren. Like, man, Brian is so buttered over Warren's videos calling him speechless. Like, why does that bother him so much? He is really offended. Like, this guy, this is why, like, Andrew called him the most insecure guy ever, and Brian will be like, I'm not insecure. But dude, like, he can't even handle being called speechless, or he was laughed off the stage. And now he has to have Warren back on his show, lecture him, yell at him, and then have all these comments up here, you know, just ripping into him. Like, what's wrong with this guy?
somebody that's a friend on the right, it speaks to their what?
I just,
what
if
was the
someone
point you were trying to
genuinely
make?
finds, like, enjoys hanging out with you, when we use the word friend, it's like you guys go get beers,
Hey,
you
thanks for
you're
stopping
in
by,
touch,
Scott.
like you
Talking on a regular
enjoy
basis.
each other's,
Sure.
you enjoy each other's company.
Sure.
would, it's not like it's impossible, but I would be surprised if people that you would point to that I respect, you actually hung out, like they actually liked your company. That would genuinely surprise me. That's all.
Does anybody like your company on the left?
Does anyone like my
Yeah,
my
like anybody on the
mom?
left that you hang.
I have
Not
all
family.
my childhood friends grew like all my best friends
Like
growing up were on the left.
I'm sure you have random friends, but I'm talking about people in the media, people that
Random
we would know.
friends?
Do you have anybody on the left that's a
What?
prominent
I don't have many.
What? So now what? It only matters. So Warren's like, I have childhood friends, you know, people that I've known for a long time. Brian's like, well, they don't count. What about famous people, huh? Can you drop as many names as I can? Look at Tim Pool, Alex Stein, Piers Morgan. That's 3 names I just dropped, bucko. Can you drop even just one name that you could call your friend? Oh, here's another one. Whoops. Jack Posobiec. Boom, bucko. What do you have to say for that, Warren? Do you have any famous friends like me?
Friends in the media, man.
How about
Friends are in
so
real life.
you don't have anybody prominent that you can say, I'm friends with that person on the left, yet you're trying to knock on me and you don't think I have friends, prominent people on the right. By the way, I've named multiple
Right, it's
people.
because I think I think you're a strange dude.
I think you're a
That's
strange
why I'm
dude.
saying
I
that.
think you're a strange dude. Yeah. Why am I why am I
Bro,
strange? Why am I
Because
strange?
you emailed me like, was it 5 times in one
I
day?
emailed you a
trying to
couple
have a
times.
You refused. Okay.
Yeah. I
You're gonna
emailed
ask me a question.
Dude, this is like Warren Smith's best appearance yet on Brian Shapiro's show. And dude, what is with Brian? He just emails people creepy DM messages or IMs, according to Brian. Johnny Ria, thank you very much for the $4.99. I'm friends with Rachel. I talk creepy smack in her DMs. We're friends. Brian Standard. Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much, Johnny Ria Smith. Oh my goodness, that is amazing, though. Everyone knows how strange and weird and creepy Brian is. Everyone could see it. Everyone. It doesn't matter if you know nothing about the guy. As soon as you have one conversation with him, it's already apparent. Like, this is a weird-ass guy. Thank you very much, John Aria, for the $4.99. If anyone has his manager's info, I can fix her. Hit me up. Thank you very much, John.
Just let me respond. So you got very upset about that tweet. You asked me to.
I wasn't very upset.
Immediately afterwards, it was last Friday.
Mhm.
You were going to do the show that afternoon. You're like, hey, can you come onto the show to address this?
Yep.
And I was like, I think it was like an hour before the show's going to go. And I, at the fire department, I can't, like, right now I'm on call making time for this. So if a call comes in, I have to go. But I was like, dude, next Friday, we can do it. That was the first I'd heard from you for weeks. As you said, you were traveling, whatever. Right.
Well,
next Friday, we'll do it. And then I get an email saying, make a public statement addressing the fact that you said I was laughed off stage, or I won't have you on next Friday. And I thought, Brian, I thought you wanted me to address this publicly. Wouldn't it be good to do it on the show? And then you emailed me and emailed me, and I was like, you're making it. It was strange because you were making it impossible for me to do the very thing you were asking me.
So the reason why I was hesitant to do that, Warren, is because a lot of my listeners don't like you very much. And I said, okay, I
Then
was hesitant to even.
Then why did you invite him back on then? Even Warren's perplexed. Oh my goodness. Oh, dude, there's so much. I gotta move some stuff around. All right. Okay. Sorry. And now that I moved some things around, now we can dedicate to the rest of us. Brian's doing a poll vote yes to bring Warren back. Nice. Yes. I will vote yes. Thank you very much, Nerf and Strike, for the $1.99.
Do this on the air because I think a lot of your titles and your tweets and the things you say about me are extremely biased because I think you're a right-wing hack.
I got that, Brian, but you expected me to have this back and forth email debate, which would have gone nowhere when I was willing to actually have a conversation, but I'm not going to go back and forth in emails with you because it's not going to, I don't have time.
No, you didn't have to do that. All you had to do was take responsibility and say, hey, you know what? I might have been wrong on that one.
Which I offered to do, to come on the show and address it, but then you said, no, you're not allowed on the show. It's like, well, I don't know what you're asking. I'm not going to respond to your emails over and over again.
You didn't have to do that. All you had to do was in an email.
You said, oh, why can't you have the debate here in email, Warren? You were asking me to do that.
Warren, hang on. Because I don't agree with your characterization. All I wanted you to do in an email, one sentence, because I really didn't want to.
What does that comment say? Modern day debate set that up with Uncensored. Also, Warren is a ratio and you bad in your own comment section. Why do you lie about everything? I don't know what that means. But thank you very much, Quill Lava, for the $4.99. Brian's parasocial behavior is straight up creepy. Brian is the type of dude to fall in love with the stripper because she remembered him as a client. Yeah, I believe that. That he probably does have like a stripper girlfriend, you know. Oh, yeah. Is Ecstasy working tonight? Yeah, you know, she's my girl. Did she get the flowers I sent her? Yeah, I totally see Brian being that type of guy.
Talk about this on the air because to some of our listeners, I think it's probably a little bit boring because we could probably be talking about more important issues. All I wanted in an email was you to acknowledge that you were wrong and say, hey, my bad. And then I would have moved on with you. The fact that you wanted to just do it on the air, I said, why can't you just email me and say that? Because what I don't want to do is I don't
ask me to come on the show before you changed your mind.
Because I didn't see that tweet that we're talking about. So what I don't want to do, Warren,
that's what initiated this whole thing. You responded to the tweet.
Warren, I'm trying to explain it to you. What I don't want is I don't want to continually have someone on the show that, number one, my listeners can't stand and think are dry, the personality of a dead ant. That's number one.
Your show.
Number two, I don't want somebody on my show that's going to continually misrepresent me, my opinions, my political affiliation, and the things that transpire on and off the air, which clearly you've done, and I've laid that out in this segment. Okay? I understand you make money off my videos, and there's like probably 100 other people, and that's fine. I'm not saying you don't have the right to do that. But my issue with you, Warren, is that you mischaracterize me. You mischaracterize things that I say. Your titles are absolutely absurd and ridiculous.
What have I mischaracterized that you have said? Because I called you a leftist
my whole
and
ideology.
I said you were laughed off stage. You're speechless.
But again, Brian does the same thing. So it's weird that he wants an apology from Warren, but he does the same thing. And that's how he is. He goes around criticizing, lectures everybody on the things that they say, the people that they hang out with. But he does the same thing. He's guilty of the same things that he lectures everybody on. And he's not apologizing for any of it, but he wants everybody else to apologize. Apologize for hanging out with Steven Crowder. Apologize for hanging out with Alex Jones. Apologize for saying green. Apologize for saying gay. And then apologize for those titles. But he does all of the same shit.
Those are the three things you pointed out.
I've gave you 10 other titles, including the fact that you call me a liberal over and over.
Imagine,
again, I'm a leftist. I've given you multiple examples.
No, you're just repeating those three things over and over again. Those are the three three things. What other than those three things have you pointed out?
Why do you keep lying?
See, you can't.
Do you want me to come up with a? You want me to come up with another?
You just said there are 10 things.
So
other than those three, what are there?
If I go into your videos,
can't do it.
I'm trying to answer if you'll stop talking. If I go into your videos, other than the 10 items that I showed you, I could come up with probably at least 20 more things. How you misrepresent me in your videos.
It's okay to disagree. That doesn't mean I'm lying.
It's not about disagreeing, Warren. It's not about having a disagreement on policy. That's not what you're doing. You say things about me that are factually inaccurate. You don't give context. It could be a debate that I did in North Carolina when you have absolutely no context on the organization or the people that were there. And then you laugh.
So he has to like report. So in order for Warren to make a video, he has to know who ran it, who was actually laughing. So Warren Smith has to do the research of everyone in the audience who was laughing at Brian. Oh, okay. So I went ahead and I got every single member of the audience is named. So it was this guy laughing, this guy laughing, this guy laughing. This guy wasn't laughing. That was the only Brian Shapiro fan, but everyone else was laughing. I had to go and verify. Uncensored America, by the way, it's ran by this guy and by this guy. Like, what the hell? Like, what is Brian asking? It's so ridiculous. It's just YouTube, bro. It's just YouTube. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. Who gives a shit? Thank you very much, Del Phil, for the 5. What a pathetically insecure little beach. He's talking to Warren like a crush who got his feelings hurt. Yeah, exactly. Seriously, now it's just going to make people want to do it more. Like I said, I'm going to title this video, Brian Shapiro Left Speechless, just to piss him off. You know? That's all it's going to do. The Quilava for $4.99. Ecstasy. Hey, Ryan, want to dance? Brian. It's Brian. It's Brian, actually, and I'll answer that. But let me just say this. First, Donald Trump is a 34-count felon. Yeah, exactly. He probably doesn't even pay to get a dance from the strippers. He probably just pays for them to talk about how bad Orange Man is. Yeah, here's actually $100. Actually, can you tell me how despicable Donald Trump is, baby? Yeah.
Ryan, how is anyone supposed to know how many people are in the room or the organizers of the organization?
Exactly.
Why is it not enough for me to just give my opinion on the debate?
Then why would you make a statement like that then if you don't know anything about the context? Why would you mock me for people laughing when you don't even know
what you were saying on stage was ridiculous.
I think the things you say in your videos are ridiculous.
Fair enough. I'm not complaining about it.
Okay, that's fine. I'm telling you why I am, because I think you're very dishonest. I know you're not complaining about it, and the reason why you're not complaining about it is you make money. You'll make another video about this.
No, Brian, because I don't care. It's fine. You're never.
I hope Warren, when he does make a video about this, he titles it Brian Shapiro Left Speechless. I hope. Come on, Brian. I mean, Warren. Come on, Warren. Do it. Do it. Do it. Thank you very much, Pauly Shortcuts, for being a member for a month. Brian Shapiro crashes out and left speechless. Yes. Beautiful. That's what I'm titling it. Thank you very much, Pauly. Do it.
Going to be able to stop. People can have their opinions. I don't care.
You asked in the debate why I brought up COVID, and then you moved on to something else in the debate because you were mocking me for bringing that up. But what you didn't say in your video, to no surprise, the reason why I brought up COVID is because I showed a study, women in 7 countries in the world, and they did a better job dealing with COVID in leadership positions than men did per capita with deaths. But I also noticed you didn't bring that up. And in the video with the stupid face that you're making, Brian, why would he bring up COVID? He looks really stupid doing this. The context of it is because Rachel didn't think that women should be political leaders and be in politics. I brought up COVID, and the reason why I brought it up was for that reason, to show statistics, and it's been proven. I believe it was a Johns Hopkins. No, it wasn't Johns Hopkins, but it was another study that came out that showed that women that were in leadership positions in the world in politics did a better job in saving lives. That's why I brought up COVID. Is that hard for you to understand?
I just think that's such a stupid strategy. Honestly.
Okay, well, that's fine. I think what you do is stupid, so that's fine. We could agree to disagree on that. But what you did is you didn't bring.
God, dude. And I like how Brian's comebacks are always like Warren will be like, I think that's just a stupid argument. And then Brian will be like, I think you have stupid arguments. Like, it's always just like, no, you know, I just think you really smell. I think you smell. I think you're a big doo-doo head. How about that? Thank you very much, John Aria, for the $4.99. For the chat goal of seeing AI Vic and jorts hopping off of a horse. Oh, no. Preferably nicely bronze and in slow-mo. Also, I don't swing that way like Brian. Oh, no. I ain't going to be making no AI slop of that. But thank you very much, John Aria, for the $4.99.
Bring it up in that video. You just said I randomly brought up COVID just to bring it up, but you didn't put any context.
I think it's a really weird thing to bring up like you just did. I would say, yes, that's a weird strategy. It's very random.
So women shouldn't be leaders when it comes to politicians in this example. I give a specific study, and the 7 countries that are led by women, per capita death rate. Their policy when it came to COVID saved millions of lives. And the fact that you can't follow that and you call it strange and weird.
That made more sense the way you no, you've explained it better there. It was just the way, sometimes the way you say it is a little comical, but
yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, the way he brought it up, because it wasn't just like, well, if you want to talk about women leaders, let's bring up something that women leaders actually did really well, which was how they handled COVID. Blah, blah, blah. You know, like that he literally, like, I forgot what they're talking about, but literally Brian was just like, all right, well, let's talk about COVID. And then it was just like, wait, what? Like, you just brought up COVID out of nowhere. So it was really silly, you know? Keith for the two. Brian caught COVID, then COVID caught Brian. Oh no, poor COVID. Poor COVID. Thank you very much, Keith. Is there a Brian jab?
Well, I just think I don't know what's comical about what I'm bringing up. The reason why well, I really don't care whether you look at it or not. Clearly you haven't looked at the whole context of it. Either that or you're lying right now. Either one, I guess I really don't care. It's just dishonest. The reason why I said go make a sandwich multiple times to Rachel is because I've said multiple times to her, pretend like I'm Andrew. Go make a sandwich. I've said that on social media, and in the context of it, that's why I kept saying that. Because
what do you mean by that? Pretend I'm Andrew. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Andrew, I'll explain that to you as well, because I believe her husband is a misogynist piece of crap based on a lot of statements that he has made. He is a misogynist. Okay. Right. So if I think somebody is a misogynist, which by the way, I am not, and the only time I've ever used that phrase ever to a woman, ever in my life, on or off the air, public or private, is to Rachel, is because I'm putting it in the context of
smart strategy to do if you consider yourself anti-misogyny.
Okay, so let's talk about strategy.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Nate not thank you very much, but happy birthday, Nate the Eagle, on turning 31. Happy birthday. Hope you have a good one, brother. And happy birthday to me, because Dirk Diggler just sent me an Australian $5. When Warren apologizes to Brian, I hope he blows all the Pushing the Limits fans. Oh no. Yeah, and you do mean all of them, because even the women probably also have ding-a-lings too. So yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, just like how Brian wanted to blow all of the Crucible fans, by the way,
on stage.
Let's talk about
why that might backfire.
To people like you, because you're ignorant, but I will explain to you strategy. Let me explain something. Let me explain something to you, okay? Because I think people like you struggle to grasp this. I'm a talk show host. When Rachel asked to debate me 6 months ago, I told her I wasn't interested, because the only topic she wanted to discuss with me was feminism, a topic that I have little to literally no knowledge on. I tried to explain that to her, and I said, let's talk about Trump. Let's talk about some of the topics that you and I have talked about. Let's talk about the Iran war. Let's talk about the Epstein policy. Let's talk about Trump policy. Let's talk about ICE. She can't do it because she's a one-trick pony. That was 6 months ago.
Oh, she's you're not trick. Rachel's the one-trick pony. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Exactly. Thank you very much for the $1.99.
Then the people at Uncensored America hit me up. We reached a financial agreement. I explained to them, I'm not even a feminist. And I've never had this conversation with anybody before. It came to my attention that I was just going to show up there to be the villain. And that's exactly what I was. I don't regret it. I made money. In fact, I've never been. Hold on.
Well, you got paid going there to play the villain. You were playing a role for money.
Yeah.
You're calling me manipulative and dishonest for my YouTube title.
You think that's manipulative? I didn't say anything.
I don't, dude. You can do whatever you want. If you want to make money doing it, that's fine. I think it's a little hypocritical.
Hold on. It's not
a little. It's a lot of hypocritical. Thank you very much, Good Austin, for being a member for a month. Don't me a misogynist, Mr. Cool, but a misogynist. Now we're talking. Thanks for the last, brother. Let's live and prosper this summer. Not one step back. Yeah, brother, not one step back. Thank you very much, Good Austin.
Hypocritical at all, and I'll tell you why. I don't agree with Rachel when she says that women shouldn't be allowed to vote.
Oh, so I guess it went out for a little bit. Yeah, no. I just thought it was funny. Brian Shapiro's calling Rachel a one-trick pony when he's literally a one-trick pony. All he could talk about is Trump. So it's just funny that he's like, oh, Rachel, one-trick pony, but he is the ultimate one-trick pony. All he wants to talk about is Trump and Spurg about Trump. So I just think that's another hypocritical thing in a long list of hypocritical things about Brian Shapiro.
I don't agree with Rachel with 90% of the BS that she spews. I didn't say anything in that debate that I regret, but the point that I was trying to make, which I still think you're struggling to understand, is that I'm not even a professional debater. I do a talk show every day. It's what I do. I talk about the news. I'm a political commentator. I talk about the news of the day. I talk about the news of the week. But she goes after low-hanging fruit. She goes.
I can't believe he's self-owning himself this badly. He's calling himself low-hanging fruit. But again, remember when he originally debated Andrew and he was about why do they need a moderator? He was like, I've been debating for 20 years. I've been debating for so long. I don't need a moderator. I've been debating for all these years. Now that he got owned so badly by Rachel, he doesn't even, now that's the cope. I'm not a debater. So add that to the Bryce Shap bingo card. I'm not even a debater. What are you talking? I don't debate. What the hell? I don't do that. Why does she want to debate me for? I'm just a lowly little radio show host. Why would she want to debate low-hanging fruit like me? He can't even legally be known as a debater anymore. That's how badly he got whooped in that debate.
After people that are not professional debaters, not people that are professionals when it comes to the feminism debate. I made that very clear before the debate. I told them. So I was happy to go out there and still do my best.
You're kind of like you're insulting yourself.
No, I'm not.
I think
No, I'm
Rachel
not.
would debate
Yeah.
anyone
No, I'm
that
not.
would want to. You're calling yourself low-hanging fruit, Brian. You're
When it
admitting
comes
you're
to
low-hanging fruit, which I
Okay, so
agree.
let me okay, so
Which I
let me,
agree.
before you become more condescending and be a jerk, let me just explain to you what I mean by that.
Okay.
You're not smart enough.
What? He's being a jerk when Brian literally called himself low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit. Like he called himself that, but now Warren is being a jerk now.
Understand. So let me just put it in context to you, because again, you're not smart enough to understand this. When I say low-hanging fruit, it is specifically about feminism. I'm not talking about low-hanging fruit debating about topical issues like the war or the economy, which is stuff that I do on my show. Very often I talk about those topics. When I say low-hanging fruit, for example, Warren, I'll try to speak slowly so you can understand. I can be condescending as well. So if I asked Rachel or you, let's use you as a perfect example. If I said, Warren, we're going to pay you some money to come out here. You're going to be in front of all my fans. And we're going to talk about the UNLV basketball team. And then after the debate, I'm going to say I owned you and I wrecked you. What would you say?
The UV basketball team. See, now he's trying to pivot to sports now. See, it's because he got freaking beaten so badly that now he's like, oh, well, I know about sports. You want to debate me on sports, bro? Thank you very much, Bandit, for the 2. To be fair, he is a low-hanging fruit. Exactly. Thank you very much, Bandit.
I would be tempted to do that. Honestly, that would be, but I probably wouldn't do it. But it would
Right.
be tempting.
Okay.
If you want to do it, I would love to. I would
Warren, it's
UVL
hard-
basketball.
Okay. UNLV. So Warren, hypothetically,
UNLV basketball. Yeah, I mean, you could, but the difference is that feminism is tied into politics. It's not like this different topic. This sports is an entirely different topic. Like if you don't watch sports, then yeah, like why would you debate? Like you would obviously why would Brian want to debate someone in sports that doesn't know anything about sports? But feminism, though, like Brian does have an opinion on feminism and how Andrew Wilson talks about women and about women voting. Brian has opinions on feminism and women voting. It's not something that Brian has no clue about. You know what I mean? He has opinions on it. Yeah, if Warren talked about some things with basketball, and then Brian debated them, that would make sense. But if Warren knew nothing about basketball, didn't watch basketball, then it would make no sense. But Brian, you have opinions on feminism, though. You do. So it's not the same thing.
Technically speaking, if we had a debate like that, and then I said I owned you, you would
If
say that
if it wasn't about basketball, I'll do it. If we can actually talk about something I'm interested in.
I'm not talking about necessarily whether it's another topic or whether you would agree to do it or not. The point that I was trying to make, the point that I was trying to make, which I still think you're struggling to understand.
Thank you very much, John Aria. I've got low-hanging fruit for him. Oh, no. Thank you very much, John Aria. Don't tempt him. Keith, for being a member for 5 months, this dude is objectively arslerd. Like, I have brain damage listening to this turd. I think we all do. Thank you very much, Toeman, for the $4.99. BS is the missing child of Dom DeLuise and the Lucky Charms guy. Dude, Dom DeLuise. That's freaking hilarious.
And this is not a topic that I have much interest at all in. I've never talked about it in my career. They knew that. But I was still willing to do it because I knew that they want clicks. And I'll still speak my mind, right? I think she's a despicable human being, her and her husband. And I just had fun with it. And it's cool. And you guys can clip farm it. It doesn't bother me at all. I had fun with it.
Clearly it bothers you, Brian.
But
yeah.
Are you my therapist now, Warren? Are you my
You've been
therapist?
ranting about it for like 20 minutes.
Well, I haven't been ranting about it for 20 minutes. Again,
Okay.
you
You
came on about 25 minutes ago. We've been talking about this.
You see what I mean? Okay, 25 minutes ago. In your world, that would be a lie to you. I said 20 minutes, not 25. And you literally point that out as though you're making a point.
We've been talking about this debate for 20 minutes? Really? That long? Okay. Maybe we can go back and take a look at that. Okay. Maybe we can go back and take a look at that. I'm trying to explain
to the time that has transcended is not accurate.
Warren,
It's not 20 minutes.
Very boring, Warren. Very boring. My point is you're a bad guest. But anyway, moving on.
Then why do you have him on if he's a bad guest? Why do you have him on? But yeah, it clearly does bother Brian. He's been coping about it ever since the debate. He's been coping about it ever since that debate broke Brian, where now he's like, well, I'm going to talk about sports because I know about sports. See, I know things about sports and bashing Donald Trump. Those are my two expertises in. So if you want to debate me on that, then I'm down. But anything else, I'm a low-hanging fruit.
So the point that I was trying to make here, Warren, which you're still struggling to grasp or understand, is when I say low-hanging fruit, I'm not saying I can't debate other topics. I'm not saying that, whether it be topical news, like what's in the news today, the week. That's what I do for a living. I don't debate people for a living, Warren. I don't even know what you do for a living other than weird titles and making videos about people like me. I don't know what else you do, but the point I'm trying to make is you couldn't find somebody that's more biased than you. You don't think anybody on the left, you've never done a video of anybody on the left defeating anybody on the right in a debate. You would never call out your hero, Elon Musk, for anything. Same thing with Donald Trump. I don't think you've ever really done more than maybe 1 minute.
I literally told you things that I dislike, that I think have been mistakes that he has done. What makes you think Elon Musk is my hero?
What videos have you?
Yeah. So again, Brian will get mad that Warren Smith will say things like call him a liberal or whatnot. But Brian could say that Elon Musk is Warren Smith's hero. Lucids, happy birthday to you, Lucids. Hope you have a good one.
You done like a long form video, 10
the one
minutes.
that you pointed to as evidence of something I've done wrong, making peace with the left in the wake of the shooting. I think that was poorly handled, very badly handled. It was
I'm
a
not
big
talking
mistake.
about something on my show. I'm talking about videos that you've made where you've done a 10-minute segment.
I would have to go back. Brian, I do 3 videos a week. I would have to go back and look.
All right. So how long have you been doing this for, Warren? How many years have you been doing YouTube?
Probably 2 years.
Okay, cool enough. Fair enough. So in the 2 years you've done YouTube videos, you can't name me one 10-minute video you've done where you've criticized the right for anything for the entire 10 minutes.
Oh, that's not true. No, I criticized Tim Pool. You just said he was on the right.
Oh, the guy that doesn't like you, right? The guy that doesn't like you. Is that what you said? So you only criticize people on the right.
Yeah, Tim Pool. He made a video upset at me.
So you criticized him because it was personal.
No, because I saw logical flaws in his argument.
Okay. So
yeah, by the way, Tim Pool criticized Warren Smith because Warren Smith made a video criticizing Tim Pool. Okay. And Tim Pool kind of pulled a Brian here and is like, oh, what is he talking about? Like Tim Pool spurred about it, just like how Brian is spurking about it now. So that's why. Warren Smith didn't start it. Warren Smith didn't start off not liking Tim Pool. Tim Pool doesn't like Warren and responded to Warren because Warren made a video about Tim Pool. So yeah, that's actually an example of Tim Pool criticizing someone on the right, even though I don't really consider Tim Pool a right winger. I guess compared to the lefts, yes, he's on the right. But that is an example of Warren Smith criticizing someone on the right. So there's that. Ken, for the Canadian 10, didn't he have prep time for this debate with Rachel? So many excuses. Brian's performance on that debate was that bad. The topic of the debate wouldn't even matter. Brian is addicted to copium. Yeah, he really is. He has a gambling addiction and a copium addiction. Thank you very much. Allegedly on the gambling, by the way. Thank you very much, Ken, for the 10. And thank you very much, Quilava, or Keylava for the $4.99. Brian, I'm not a one-trick pony. I could speak about Trump and talk about sports, which I may or may not relate back to Trump at some point by accident. Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much for the $4.99. And thank you very much, guys, for helping me complete another super chat goal.
Break it down with money raining on me.
Thank you very much, guys. Ron Quay for the 5. BS could have said no to the debate, but thought he could win on personal attacks. He got wrecked so bad, he has to claim he's not a debater. Yeah, exactly. He didn't have to accept the debate. Sorry. He didn't have to accept the debate. No one forced him to. He chose to do the debate. Okay, he chose to do the debate, and he got wrecked.
Other than somebody that you don't like, and I'll have to take a look at that video. In the 2 years you've done YouTube, have you made any videos criticizing anybody else on the right? Like a politician, not a talk show host, but like any politicians at all? Have you done like a 10-minute video in the 2 years you've done YouTube criticizing anybody on the right?
Yeah, Ted Cruz. There's some other ones. These are the one I'm just trying to. There's been some. I'd have to. I don't. But that's one that comes to mind.
So Tim Pool, and do you remember what that Ted Cruz video was about?
Israel.
Every weekday
it was about Israel
on KSHK.
What did Ted Cruz say about Israel?
Dude, they need to figure out. So that happens during Brian's show. Like he has to play a commercial for the radio. But then on our side, on the stream, we could hear that commercial going off while he's talking. And it's so very distracting. I don't know why he hasn't fixed that, Mr. 20-year radio show host professional over here. Why he doesn't, sorry, why he doesn't fix things like that.
I'm just curious.
What is this music playing?
That's a technical thing. Sorry about that. What was it about Ted Cruz that?
Thank you very much, Keith, for the 2. VA just shut down the Democrats. No Queens. USA. Yeah.
He was talking as though he was claiming that the justification for the actions, I think it was in, supporting Israel is based on his biblical interpretation.
Okay. So Warren, what do you think about opening up the phone lines? Why don't we let some of my callers talk to you? Would you like to agree?
Great.
Man? Okay, great.
Great. Freaking pretty much Brian Shapiro going, release the hounds, releasing all of his attack dogs now on him. All of the fellow TDS sufferers, just like Brian, because he can't contend with any of Warren's arguments. And by the way, who cares like how many, why does Warren Smith have to make an equal amount of videos against people on the right as he does the left? Brian doesn't do that. Does he make equal amounts of videos praising Donald Trump as he does criticizing Donald Trump? No, he doesn't. And by the way, I don't think he has to. If he wants to make every single video about bashing Donald Trump, he has that right to. But so does Warren. Warren can make videos about whatever he wants. How come he has to make equally criticizing Republicans, criticizing Democrats equally? Okay, Brian doesn't do that himself.
I don't know. You might get laughed off the stage. I hope that's okay.
That's fine.
Is that all right? Okay. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you want to be a part of it. By the way, I wasn't planning on doing this. I really wasn't.
Oh, sure.
I was going to have Warren on the show for 25 minutes. And then, I thought people were going to laugh him off the stage, but, I've decided because I have a warm place in my heart for Warren. I want to keep him on and I want people to call into the show and ask Warren a free for all. So that's what we're going to do. Warren has agreed to it. I asked him first because I'm trying to be as respectful as I can. So the number to call is 702.
Warren should have just said, nah. You should be like, no, I don't really want to take the calls, Brian. No.
221-7283. And again, that number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation. This is your opportunity to speak to Warren Smith. But please don't laugh him off the stage. Again, that number to call.
If you want to call and laugh.
Yeah, don't laugh him off the stage because he might get banned and he might put a video.
You're clearly bothered by that. Don't act like you're not bothered.
Yeah.
By that.
It's not that it's bothered. It's that you just say things that are just factually inaccurate and you don't care. You keep it up.
I already made a public apology. You weren't literally laughed off the stage. You were laughed while on stage. You were laughed at while on stage. It just doesn't quite have the same ring to it. For a YouTube channel. If that's what upsets you so much, I own that. He was not laughed off the stage. He was laughed at while on the stage.
fan.
By the way, now Brian's gonna make a video saying Brian's gonna release a video saying, I got this right-wing mega buffoon to admit that I was right, or some shit like that. Or you know what I mean? Like, come on.
And we debated, and a bunch of people were laughing at you, which, by the way, they're laughing in the chat. I wouldn't put out a video saying people were laughing at Warren Smith. It's
Why
just really
not?
stupid.
Do it, man.
Yeah,
It
it.
just wouldn't work if the logic isn't there.
Let's go to Shelly. Shelly is first up on PTL. Hi, Shelly. You're on with Warren. Go ahead, Shelly.
Hello. Warren, are you awake?
I am.
I wonder if any of these. Remember, last night I was watching when Brian sent his attack dogs onto that Miguel guy, that Miguel kid, and I wonder if any of these are going to be the same callers.
Yes.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I thought someone was going to have to feel and see.
Look at Brian, like he's a freaking he's like a Batman villain. Like, remember the 60s Batman TV show when he would send their goons to Batman? Like, get him, goons. And then they would, fight Batman and Robin. And meanwhile, the villain would just be laughing in the background. Ha ha, make sure you work the face, boys. Ha ha, that's how Brian is laughing here. He is like a 60s Batman villain.
A heartbeat. Do you think that the 2020 election was stolen?
Do I think it was 2020?
Stolen,
Was
like
it
Donald Trump?
stolen?
No.
I don't think so.
Stolen.
He said no. He said he doesn't think so, although I doubt he's ever criticized Donald Trump for that. Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Lion Brian, thank you very much for the $4.99. My 800,000 live viewers are laughing at Warren. So who lost the debate? Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much. Lion Brian. Vicky's chat is asking Darlene and Paul to call in and get Warren. They did talk to Miguel. Oh, wow. So they're going to make a return then? They're going to make a return? Andrew is a better man than me. If his first words to my wife were that they were to Rachel, Brian would have been counting his teeth by how many he could pick up. And I'm not a violent man. Yeah, I've always said, like, Brian's lucky that all he got from the Wilsons was just not being invited to the dinner and no handshake.
Okay. But for Donald Trump, would January 6th have happened? Had he not lied about all the votes that were
Shelly, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but and I'll let Warren answer the question, but I know exactly what, and maybe I'm wrong.
Okay.
I'll let Warren answer, but I know exactly what Warren is going to say, because this is the excuse that these MAGA idiots always make. They say, oh, well, I don't think he was lying. I think that's what he truly believes. It's the excuse that I've heard, but go ahead, Warren. Maybe prove me wrong. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Warren.
If Donald Trump was not president, you're right. January 6th would not have happened. How could it have happened?
What?
Donald Trump wasn't president.
What caused that to happen?
I guess the question that Shelley's trying to ask is, if Donald Trump didn't lie about the 2020 election being stolen, does January 6th happen, Warren?
Thank you.
If he doesn't have
lie?
Of course not. In January, no, people would not gather to protest if they did not have serious questions about the legitimacy and fairness of the election.
So do you put responsibility on Donald Trump then?
For which component? For the people gathering?
It wasn't just people gathering.
It was a freaking mob.
It was a riot and an insurrection. People died that day. 140 officers were injured. And the point that Shelley is trying to make is, if Donald Trump doesn't lie about the
I like how Brian always brings up the officers being injured, but only one person died that day, and that was Ashley Babbitt, who was shot by an officer. He always glosses over that, right? Also, he assumes Donald Trump lied, which is what all these TDS freaks do. They always be like, oh, he lied. Well, how do you know he lied, though? That requires being a mind reader. I personally believe that Donald Trump believed it, because we all believed it. We all believed that the election was stolen. We saw a lot of shifty things going up online, like shifty little videos, anomalies, little strange things here and there. And so that's why we believed it. And Donald Trump, I believe, believed it. Okay. But Brian just believes that he lied because he hates Donald Trump. And he also neglects the fact when Donald Trump said march peacefully, like to march peacefully to the Capitol. He just neglects all that. And no one was charged for an insurrection, not even Donald Trump. Donald Trump himself was not charged for insurrection, which isn't that a big thing for Brian? Isn't that his thing? Was he charged? Name me one charge. Was he arrested? Remember, that's what he used for the Savannah Hernandez family. There's not one charge, not a single arrest. Well, Donald Trump wasn't arrested nor charged for an insurrection. So why does Brian keep peddling that lie? Thank you very much. Did I get another super chat? Keith. Wait, Kamala for the $1.99. Brian is a Batman villain, the penny plunderer. That's a good one. Thank you very much, Kamala. Thank you very much, Keith, for the 2. Pushing the limits. It's pushing the bedtime. Exactly. FB for the $4.99. Yeah, didn't Sleepy Joe get more votes than Obama? How is that not suspicious? Yeah, both of them got high. I believe even Trump got higher in the 2020 election than Obama. Like, what the heck? 81,000 votes? Trump got like 78,000 votes or million. I mean, 81 million, 78 million. Like, what the like, that's not weird to these Democrats. Thank you very much, FB.
2020 election. It doesn't happen to begin with. Are you willing to put some responsibility on Trump for that? Right, Shelley? That's what you're trying to ask.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead, Warren.
You can have legitimate. You can have concerns about the fairness of the election, and people can also show up to protest it.
He didn't say he had concerns. He said the election was rigged and stolen. If he said, "Hey, I have some concerns about the election," that would be different. He didn't do that, Warren. He still says it to today that the election was rigged and stolen with no evidence of widespread voter fraud.
And people believe that 2016 was stolen by Russians on Facebook. My mom literally got the exact same thing. If a bunch of Democrats convened to protest that, they have the right to protest.
Which elected official believes that?
I don't know, man. I
don't know. Right.
Are you claiming that there wasn't claims that Russia influenced the 2016 election? Because I can't to.
Warren is trying to correlate idiots on social media to the president of the United States. And by the way, Democrats didn't storm the Capitol and there wasn't an insurrection. By the way, there's proof in the courts, while I don't believe it overturned the election, that Russia did interfere online on the internet. But I don't think that overturned anything. But you couldn't find me one prominent Democrat that would think that the election was stolen.
Hillary Clinton? What about Hillary? She thought it was stolen. She kept saying that it was stolen. There's one.
Do you think that if no Democrats agree with you, why do you think that, Brian?
Why do you pivot?
Warren, forget it. You're not going to answer.
No,
okay.
Thank you, Shelley,
why
for the call. I think you made your point. Warren, why do you pivot? Why can't you just put a little bit of responsibility on Trump?
I was trying to point out the hypocrisy of it. I think people can have concerns over the legitimacy of elections. And
where is the evidence? And where is the evidence that has been proven that somehow there was widespread voter fraud? Can you point to any evidence?
Yes, the censorship on Twitter that was proven with objective evidence. That would be one example.
That's widespread voter fraud?
Well, what about social media covering up the Joe Biden diary, the daughter diary, that people admitted, the laptop. It was a laptop. It was a laptop or the diary. I don't know. One of his kids. I think it was a laptop, though. What about the covering up of the Hunter Biden laptop that people admitted that if they had known about the laptop, they wouldn't have voted for Joe Biden? That's voter suppression right there. They're trying to. What about the article that was written? Was it Time Magazine that talked about how there was like a secret cabal of people working behind the scenes to try to influence the election? Like there was a whole article written about it, a whole lengthy article. What about that? Why were people posting up the signs so people couldn't look into the voter counting? What about the addresses that were listed that didn't exist? What about the broken pipe that didn't actually happen? Like there's so many suspicious things that isn't it reasonable to believe that there was some shenanigans that happened? But these Democrats try to lie and gaslight us, try to make us believing that we're crazy. And it's like, no, there is a valid reason to believe that there was shenanigans there. And Donald Trump didn't just come out and say, hey, guys, there was shenanigans. I didn't actually lose. And then we're like, oh, okay. And we just believed him. No, like all of us, Donald Trump also saw these weird anomalies happening. And he was just agreeing with what we were saying. It's not just a lot of times. It's not just Donald Trump telling us to believe something and we believe it. No, it's actually us talking about something, he listens to us and then he goes with it. So it's actually more him being influenced by us than us being influenced by him. Here in Wisconsin, our elections commission prevented the Green Party from being on the ballot. Yeah. They call Republicans conspiracy theorists. Yeah, exactly. Heck, even in the 2024 election, they try to prevent Donald Trump's name from being on the ballot for the primaries? So yeah, why wouldn't we believe that there's shenanigans? And then, by the way, the 2020 election was the first election to have widespread mail-in ballots. Like, there's not going to be some shenanigans going on there. Like, there's just a whole bunch of anomalies. Yeah, like when Steven Crowder visited addresses that had cast a vote and found several that had nothing at the location. Yeah, exactly. It was also illegal to ballot harvest, and Milwaukee was harvesting ballots. Yeah.
Pointing at the dynamics of that's suppressing the algorithms on social media that can have an effect. I'm not claiming the election. I already said the election was not, in my mind,
so why won't you give any? So why won't you put any responsibility?
And I think, too, Brian always says widespread meaning nationwide. Well, they all said widespread, and I think they do that on purpose. That's the goalpost. Any widespread, any proof of widespread, that's their goalpost. But you're absolutely correct. You don't need widespread voter fraud just in strategic counties, making it a local voting fraud, which has been proven to have happened. Exactly.
On what took place on January 6th. Trump, who, by the way, was there for 5 hours. He did absolutely nothing, and he pardoned people.
I will, Brian. I think he could have responded sooner and made more of an impact to prevent.
All right. Thank you, Warren. That's very
responded sooner.
Thank you.
I'm literally doing the thing you want me to do.
Thank you, Warren. No, it's not what I want you to do. It's about you being honest, and I have to ask the same question
I
8
just
times.
Honestly answered
after 8 times. After 8 times and pivoting. Let's go to Pete. Pete is next up on PTL. What's up, Pete?
Yeah, hi, Brian. I'd like to talk to Warren. I have something I'd like to talk to Warren about.
Sure. Go right ahead, Pete.
Go for it.
I wonder if this is the same guy from Miguel.
Warren, I've seen you on the show a few times, several times, actually, and I have to agree with Brian a little bit on the boring thing and this and that and the other, but I've been really wanting to watch this show. And everybody's got their own style, okay? So, but I've been wanting to watch the show all week because Brian's been talking about how he's going to rip you a good one, like a new one and all that, all week long, and then you're going to be done with all this. I got to tell you, man, you held your own, brother. I mean, when people anger you, they control you, and I think that was happening here, and you held your own. So that's all I wanted to say to you, brother.
You have a fan, Warren.
I appreciate that. Thank you. That means a lot.
You have a Warren Smith.
I mean, I'm not a fan. I'm not a big fan of yours. I mean, but you got your own style,
Yep. So, some people like to lie on YouTube with titles and stuff, and Warren's very good at that. All right, thank you for the call, sir. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Gary. Gary's next. What's up, Gary? Gary, you got to lower your radio, my friend. You got to lower your radio.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, Gary.
Yeah, Warren, I got a question for you.
Sure.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad did Rachel end Ryan Shapiro's career?
I mean, it was pretty bad career ender. I don't think, honestly.
Look at the cope laughing from Brian, dude. That's brutal.
Rachel end Ryan Shapiro's career.
I mean, it was pretty bad career ender. I don't think, honestly, I don't think his career is any more dead now than it was, because I don't think it was that much alive, in that sense.
So Warren's defending him by saying, well, I don't think it was a career ender because his career was pretty much already dead. You couldn't have it anymore. I disagree, though. I think that was a career ender. I mean, it absolutely broke Brian. Like, hasn't been the same since that debate. And again, that debate went viral. So everybody knows what a laughing stock Brian is. Postal Joe, thank you very much for the $5. Are all of Brian's listeners slack-jawed yokels like Cletus from The Simpsons? Yeah, pretty much. But then he calls us all like freaking stupid morons, dumb, brain-dead morons that are uneducated. But I think that's more Brian's fans. Thank you very much, Postal Joe, for the $5, brother.
In a way, it does it is free marketing for him. That idea that there's no such thing as bad publicity, I think, could apply. His name has become much larger as a consequence of some of these beats.
In other words, cope.
So it was a beatdown. Yeah. So Warren, what's up with my career? What do you think? You think my career's dead?
Dude, lying Brian. Lying Brian, you called it. You really are Brian Shapiro. If she ended my career, then how come I'm still standing? So predictable, this guy. So predictable. Dude.
Is that what
No,
it is?
that was my point, is that your career has not died any more than it already was.
So my career was already. Yeah.
No, you've got a show, Brian. You've got this radio show. You can do your thing. And your name has become bigger as a consequence of being willing. I give you credit for being willing again and again to take these whoopings to the point where people are like, is this guy a masochist? Like, what is he? Does he have
Again, the credibility of
why-
Warren Smith in the 2 years he's been on YouTube, he's never said that a Democrat or somebody on the left has ever defeated somebody on the right. So you have zero credibility.
That's not
And
true.
the last I took is more valuable than your opinion on any debate I've ever had because you have zero credibility. Tell me a debate that you've seen where you think you've done a
Anna
video.
Kasparian decimated.
Anna's not on the left. Anna's not on the left. She's not a Democrat. She's not an elect. So I asked you again. Somebody.
Anna's not on the left? Dude, she's on the left, dude. What the hell are you talking about? Anna's not on the left. Oh, okay. Just because she doesn't vote Democrat or anymore, which I'm not even sure about that. She claims she doesn't. She's an independent, but she's an independent like Brian, where she's a lefty.
On the left, that's a legit.
So the Young Turks are not on the left.
She's not a Democrat. She's been, again, you keep mischaracterizing people on their ideology. She's not a Democrat. She might be
a progressive, though, right?
She's not you know what? Talk to people that know who she is and are a little bit more familiar with her work.
So you're saying Anna Kasparian is not a progressive?
I don't think she's a lefty. You like to call people lefty. She's not a lefty. No, she's not by any means. What? Give me a debate of somebody that's legitimately on the left.
You keep doing this. I've gone through. I would have to go back and look. I've gone through off the top of my head examples like that. I've gone through it with you already. Why keep doing this? I thought this was about letting people call.
It is.
Keep doing the same strategy.
It is because you have zero credibility when it comes to your opinions on debates because you've never, ever given anybody on the left credit for anything. You are a right-wing hack.
He just gave you credit for being a masochist, for being able to get whipped in debates over and over again and keep coming back for more, Brian. He just gave you credit for that. That you're just able, that you're this glutton for punishment, that you're very resilient. You get whipped in debate after debate, and then you still keep going back for more. That's a compliment, right? Thank you very much, JJ Mad, for the 10. Brian is a shock jock. He really has no moral value system other than getting gotchas. That does seem to be true. Thank you very much, JJ Mad. FB for the $4.99. Jordan Peterson lost the Jubilee debate against 20 atheists. See, I can be fair and objective, unlike Lion Brian. Exactly, FB. Thank you very much for the $4.99.
I literally just did, and you wouldn't let me do it because Anna Kasparian is not on the left. I don't know how to play your game, then, Brian. I can't do it.
It's called honesty. Not an example. It's called honesty and credibility. It's not a game. Let's get back to the calls. Let's see here.
Warren is being honest. Like, what the hell is he talking about? You're the one that's not being honest, you idiot.
Let's go to Chuck. Chuck is next up on PTL. What's up, Chuck?
Oh, is this Charlie? Enemy Charlie?
Chuck is next. Hi, Chuck. Chuck, lower your radio, please.
I did.
Thank you.
Hey, Warren, where did you get your upbringing, and who put you into the?
Holy! Either this guy is really drunk, he's really slow, or he's trying to do a Bill Cosby impression. You see, when you try to get the Jello pudding, and you take the Kodak film, and then you bip it in the butt.
Right-wing MAGA.
No one put me into right-wing MAGA. What was where did I get my what?
Yeah, watch the language for the caller and everybody.
Okay.
Where did I get my what?
Yeah, how did you get to the position you're in now with your opinions?
That's an interesting question. That's a fair question. Yes, I grew up. Everyone around me, I would describe as being today on the left, listening to NPR in the background. It was one perspective. I never questioned it. Republicans were the bad guys. I wouldn't even call myself necessarily a Republican. I don't know what I am. It varies on various topics. But when
Yeah, I was gonna say Warren's not even a right winger either. Like, I don't think he's a conservative or a Republican or anything like that. He just has common sense, pretty much. I would describe probably Warren, if anything, maybe center right, like maybe center right, but he's not like he's very similar to like a Tim Pool type, but he's not a conservative or Republican or anything like that. You know, I honestly I'm understand that Warren. I'm surprised that Warren was able to understand what that dude said, because I still don't understand what the hell that dude was trying to. Well, you see, where did you get your opinions from? And yeah, Brian's fans do sound very slow, which explains a lot. Thank you very much, Proctologist, for the $5. Brian is the debate equivalent to the "ow my balls" guy on Idiocracy. Yeah, he really is. Thank you very much, Proctologist.
Went to graduate school in 2016. I was overwhelmed by illogical and irrational, and I would describe even racist and contradictory, hypocritical ideology that was shocking to me. And I began to push back, and that's what initiated the journey. And it's being willing to have conversations like this that have gotten me to wherever I am today.
I don't know. I think Warren's career is dead. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I do.
No, wait, let me take that back. It was never any less dead before he appeared on this show than it is now. I want to characterize it very correctly. Yeah, it wasn't any more dead back then as it is now. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
All right. No, you answered my question.
All right. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you for calling in. We got to get to some other callers. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Kava. Kava's next up on PTL. What's up, Kava?
Hi, Brian. How are you doing today?
Hey, what's up? You're on with Warren. Kava, go right ahead.
So, Warren, I have a question for you, and I would like an honest answer from you, please, because I'm just curious. What's your problem? Seriously, what is your problem with Brian? Because all year long, you've been nothing but rude to him. I'm just curious. What is your problem?
What?
I've been nothing but rude to Brian.
Yeah,
I enjoy. Hey, I will keep coming on here and continue to talk to Brian. We've been very friendly. I mean, this is the first. This would be the first one where it's like, I mean, I knew he wanted to. He was bothered by these things, so I'm kind of poking with some of these honest takes about his career and things. Like it's not normally but I don't think I've been rude. We've had about 6 of these conversations. I think I've been pretty not rude. It's just that's an interesting read, caller. It's a really interesting read.
In the last. Hey, Kava, can I ask Kava a question? Hey, Kava.
Yeah.
Why are you gay?
You say somebody's career is dead in the last week that's done Fox News, CNN, OAN, and Piers Morgan. Would you say their career is dead? Would you characterize that as dead?
Not
that I'm like trying to say how important I am, but I think most people would characterize my career as certainly not dead. But don't get me wrong, Warren. I see you on those networks all the time.
Your career wasn't dead, Brian. It hasn't. I made that point that
I was never alive.
Go ahead, Kava. Go ahead.
So you said that you've been respectful to Brian. If that is the case,
like seriously, man, all the famous people he knows is everything to Brian. That's everything. Like he has to name drop no matter what. He really is the most insecure person. Like every chance he gets, he has to be like, I've been on Piers Morgan, Tim Pool, huh? Yeah, I was on OAN, huh?
You saying this career is dead? That's not being respectful. That's being
say Brian's. Hey, I did not say Brian's career was dead. Someone was asking me a question about how much his career was damaged by the Rachel Wilson debate. And my point is, it's probably right where it was before. And if anything, his name has become larger because people are seeing these clips. It's free marketing for him. I don't think your career has gone any lower than where it was before.
But it was low before, though, right?
Again, you just proved it.
It was low before.
That's my honest take on it. On the dynamics.
Where was my career before?
You haven't changed much. It's what it is now.
Where was it? Where was my career before?
You have a radio show speaking to people like this caller, and you attempt to have these debates. I think you've been doing more and more because people have been seeing the clips, right? And you just did the one with Rachel Wilson. That's where your career is. You do things like Piers Morgan as well, and Fox News, I guess. So that's what you do. That would be your career, correct?
I love that Warren Smith is not, he's not making a judgment on any kind of career. He's not giving an opinion. He's not saying, oh yeah, you've been doing great or you've been doing poor. He's just been like, he's just naming off things that Brian does, you know, like, well, you have a radio show, you do a radio show, you go on shows. That's what you do, right? You do debates. Like, he's not saying anything. Brian, look at his face. Brian just looks so defeated. Brian looks like he's gonna cry, dude. Like, he just looks like he's gonna break down. He really is a masochist. Why does he do this to himself? Like, man, no wonder he wants to go and just restart his sports show where he can't be hurt by any of us meanies anymore. Kilava, thank you very much for the $1.99. Brian was so hurt by the dead career joke. He's been hurt by every joke. He's been hurt by Warren saying he was speechless or laughed off the stage. Like, any slight insult against him, he gets so butthurt over. He can't take it. Bandit, thank you very much for the $5. If Brian didn't tell us he was on those shows, would anyone know? Exactly. I would only know that he was on Piers Morgan and maybe the Tim Pool. That's it. All these other ones, I don't know, because Piers Morgan is where I first saw Brian. Like in 2024, that was my first exposure to Brian, was on Piers Morgan. So I would have known that he was on Piers, maybe Tim Pool, but anywhere else, no, not at all.
Yeah, I'm just wanted to know, like, where was it at before? Like, where do you think
that's the best answer I can give you. That's what I have observed with my eyes.
Got you. Okay, fair enough. Kava, do you have anything else? Because we got to get to the next caller.
No, I'm good. Right. Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Kava. He's trying to laugh you off the stage, Warren. I just won't let him do it.
Really want to have.
No, I'm just mocking you for your stupid comments. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Debbie. Debbie is next up on PTL. What's up, Debbie?
Hey, I want to give Warren some advice. I think you are boring, and you never come with facts. You always dodge Brian's answers, debates, and also you don't come with facts, and you always say, oh, I don't know what you're asking me, and you're a very confusing fellow, and so I think you need to change your way of approaching your interviews with Brian.
Okay. If we can keep doing them, I will attempt to do better.
All right. And you know what? Brian didn't tell you to leave his show or kick you off your show. Really, his listeners are telling Brian that you're very boring, and we would appreciate somebody more interesting on his show.
Yeah,
I understand that, but you didn't see their emails that I received saying I wasn't allowed on the show unless I made a public statement. So,
no, nobody. No. Nobody says that you're not allowed at the show. We just said
Brian literally said that in an email.
No, Brian has never kicked you off the show because
I literally sent that email, man.
No.
And then here he is on the show. And then here he is on the show weekly.
Yeah, I disagree with that because I'm a listener of Brian. I'm a fan of Brian.
Thank you.
And when you come on, I actually put it on mute. But he's never said that.
How do you know anything about me not bringing facts?
Because when you get real boring on your answers, then I put you on mute and I say, "Oh, this guy is a mega."
Hey, can we work? Can we work together? Hold on, all three of us. Let's work.
Yeah, his fans are so slow. Yeah, when I hear you on the radio and you start to talk, I put it on mute and I don't listen. I don't listen because you are very boring, Warren. You are very boring.
Work together on this because we know Warren's going to make another video about me and make a lot of money. So,
he
Warren,
didn't even use my name.
Warren, what's the title? Warren, let's work on this together. Let's see if we can come up with a title with this caller. What do you think the title, Warren? And then I'll ask the caller, but I want to ask Warren first. Warren, what do you think the title of the?
You know what? By the way, Brian gets very butthurt about the titles and such. Like, remember he was telling this to Rob too in his 18-minute spurg out. He ends this like, "Well, what do you think? What are you going to title this video, Rob? Maybe Liptard Spurgs Out. I know you like saying Spurgs Out. Or how about liberal. Like he gets very butthurt about these titles, dude. Brian, it's not that deep, dude. It's not that deep. You don't have to get so offended over these things. And then have your very slow callers call in to roast your guest for you because you can't handle it. By the way, having his callers call in to roast his guests is something he started doing after the Rachel debate. I've started noticing that. Like, yeah, he took calls sometimes while he had guests on, but now I feel like he does it so he could have his fans roast his opponents for him. That's how butthurt and broken he is. Thank you very much, Bandit, for the $2. Brian needs his fans to fight his battles. Exactly. Pauly Shortcuts for the $1.99. Insecure Brian crashes out and left speechless. Yes, that's a good title suggestion. Thank you very much, Pauly. Wait till he immediately blocks me. I was nice at first just to get on. Oh, wow.
This next video should be.
I don't know, Brian. I would have to think about it.
How about right-wing hack gets laughed off radio show? What do you think about that?
If you really want to, I will fly.
And then it's funny because Brian, how about right-wing hack gets laughed off radio show? How about that, Warren? Take that. What do you think about that, caller? Yeah, I think that's very good. That's very funny, Brian. Like, and Warren doesn't care. Like, Warren doesn't care. Like, that's the thing. But Brian thinks everyone cares about that as much as he does. Like, he thinks that destroyed Warren. That Warren's like, oh no, please don't call your title that. Please, I'll be just as shattered as you were. Like, no, Warren doesn't give a shit. Warren's gonna end this appearance going like, man, what a. And then he's probably gonna go get lunch or some shit, and then forget all about this. Meanwhile, Brian's gonna be sitting there going, yeah, I showed Warren. Take that, Warren. He's gonna be there brushing his teeth tonight. Yeah, I can't believe Warren. I really got him there. Like, he's gonna be titling the video, right-wing hack gets laughed off radio show. Warren's gonna get so destroyed. Meanwhile, Warren's gonna be just going about his day like nothing. Jack the Guitar God, thank you very much. $4.99. Are all of Brian's callers calling for the same short bus? Probably. Seriously.
Fly out there, and you can arrange for me to be laughed at on stage.
What do you mean arrange? You think I'm going to pay you to come out here? Are you on crack? You think I would pay $1 for you to come out here? Are you insane? Okay. You pay your own flight. You pay your own flight. You pay to come out here. Then I will absolutely have a debate with you somewhere, and we will work it out.
Why would I do that?
Well, exactly. Why the hell would I pay a boring idiot like you to come to Las Vegas? Why would I do that? You think I would pay you to
the previous caller that was talking about how rude I am to you?
I'm rude to you too. Yes,
my mind.
I'm absolutely rude to you as well. My question is, why do you think I would pay for somebody like you to come out here with a monotone voice, no personality, to debate me?
Don't.
Thank you. Finally, an honest answer. I think that's the most honest thing you've said this entire debate. Ma'am, what should we, before I let you go, what should we name this? What do you think? No, not me. What do you think Warren should name this in his next YouTube video about me?
No,
I think he should name. I think he should name this Warren Smith is a doo-doo head, Brian. Yay!
I think the debate
Brian
should
melts down. That's
probably what it'll be. He's being honest again.
Probably something like that. Because this has been a massive meltdown.
Let me say it. I think, Brian, you should name. I don't think Warren knows how to title the debate. So I would debate it as Brian is debating a boring mega buffoon.
Ooh, I like that one. Warren, will you do that one? I think will you take that under advisement at least? Is there a chance you might?
You're welcome to.
I would, but I would consider adding the word despicable mega buffoon. Yeah, that's good. That's funny, Brian.
You're welcome to title your videos that.
So you won't take that into it. There's no chance you're going to label it.
I don't think it would be a smart title to say Warren. No, I don't think that would be a good title for my video, Brian.
You don't even remember what I said. See, you don't pay attention.
I know. Unbelievable. You don't listen to women, Warren?
I will strive to do better, man.
All right. Warren, what's wrong with you? Listen to women. Thank you, my dear, for the phone call. I appreciate it. And by the way, I like your title suggestion. Maybe I'll use that myself. I don't know. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Andy. Andy is next up on PTL. What's up, Andy?
Oh, is this you, Andrew, in there? Nice.
Yeah. Hey, Warren. Anyway, I just want to ask you a simple question. Okay, you with me now?
Yeah.
Okay. January 6th, 2021. Who was the idiot that stood across the street from the White House and got on stage and says, you got to go down there and fight like, because if you don't, you're not going to have a country. Who the was that, Warren?
You're referring to Donald Trump.
Who was that, Warren? Who yelled that on January 6th? Who yelled that, Warren? Tell me now. Tell me. Anthony, for the $5, you can see Warren looking outside the window, just wondering what's for dinner tonight. He's pulling a playbook from Rob and let him seek himself. Exactly. Thank you very much, Anthony. Thank you very much, Postal Joe, for the $5. Okay, listeners, the next 34 callers gets a free grilled cheese sandwich. Yay! I think the callers are all day drinkers. Probably. I mean, you have to be drunk in order to listen to Brian unironically. They also like the little co-host has little caller. Shocker. Oh man, how is it that you're such a little cow that even your callers are little cows? That's crazy. Ooh. By the way, I heard Brian's favorite wrestler. Brian had a wrestler that was one of his biggest fans.
Come in. Oh, Mr. Bishop.
Let me fast forward this to where Brian's favorite wrestler comes in. This is probably one of Brian's callers. You can call into Brian's show. There you go. That's it. Yeah, you manga. I know, that was classic.
Oh, very good. Congratulations. You finally answered the question. Very good. I want to let you one more thing, Warren. I'm a registered Republican down here in Florida. I will never, ever vote Republican again. I'm absolutely embarrassed for the Republicans. And if John McCain were still alive, he would just be shaking his head and just going after these GOP colleagues.
Hey, caller.
They're a freaking disgrace.
I agree.
And
Caller.
also,
I want to ask
they
you
have no balls.
I agree. Caller, what do you think Warren should title this video? We're taking a poll here. We're taking a census. What do you think?
It should be called Warren Smith is a really bad guy and he's a liar mega buffoon. Yay! Thank you very much, Nerf and Strike, for the $1.99. This interview is Warren's punishment for Make Sure. It really is.
You wasted time on this.
No, it's funny.
No, saying that he's a freaking Republican clown. That's what I would say.
Republican clown gets owned video host. I think Warren. Warren, is there?
Uh-oh. Okay. Whew. I was like, no, internet, no.
Well, I think that happens every single time when you come on this show, Warren. First of all, you're getting laughed off. Yeah, I mean, you expose yourself as being the right-wing clown that you.
Yeah, we're laughing at you, Warren. You're a stupid idiot, you dummy. We're laughing at you.
You are. You're.
Come on, what's going on, internet? You're busting my balls, internet. You're busting my balls.
Epstein stuff. You've done that on this show before. You clearly hardly ever criticize.
Not aware of the Epstein stuff?
Yeah, we've talked about the Epstein stuff, and you said, well, I'm not really aware of that. I really don't know about that. You've done that multiple times.
Might have been referring to a specific point that I wasn't aware of, but I'm aware of the Epstein stuff.
Yeah. I think there's been plenty of videos, Warren, where we've learned together. You're a little bit of a hypocrite. Let's get back to the calls, because like I said, I don't want to waste time. 7
Bro. Postal Joe. Come on, internet. Don't do this to me. I don't know if you could hear me, but Postal Joe, thank you much for the $5. Plot twist, Brian is actually the world's greatest ventriloquist, and he's actually not talking to callers. Dude, I know, right? That would be crazy. He's actually really talented. Thank you very much, Postal Joe, for the $5. All right. There's still a lot to let go. Come on. Come on, internet. Just stay with me. Just stay with me, internet.
I'm not going to take that title under advisement. There's no chance you'll do that for us.
Or Brian Shapiro owns me?
Owns right wing. Yeah, owns right wing hack. There's no chance.
I haven't seen anything to indicate that you have owned.
All right. I just wanted to know if you. I was just asking the question. That's all. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Paul. We got a caller from the UK calling in. Look at that. I don't know. Maybe he's a fan of yours. I don't know. Paul, what's going on?
Hey there, Brian. Hi there, Warren. I've actually got a question I want to address to Warren, not surprisingly. I've been watching the Trump phenomenon in America since when he debated Hillary. And I knew, because I'm an old guy and I'm quite a smart guy, this guy could end the world. He was a world ender. And it mystified me that a whole country like America could vote for the guy. Perhaps not so much the first time, but surely the second time. I couldn't understand it. And I listen to people like you, Warren, and you're a smart guy. I think you're a good debater. I think you're pretty clever. And I'm asking, this is a question I'd like to ask you, because it's the only theory I can attribute to a young, intelligent man like yourself supporting a monster like this, is, do you do it to influence people politically, or is it just the money? Is it just a job? That's what interests me.
Yeah, there's a really interesting question there. The first question would be, why did I vote for Trump, which is a valid question, because I think that the rise of Trump was more so a failing of the left than a victory or success of the right necessarily. I think that's how bad things actually.
That's a call from HR that Warren's getting right now. Hi, so how is your HR meeting with Brian? How's your meeting with Brian going? Everything okay? Good. Now remember, this is your punishment, Warren. You have to deal with Brian Shapiro for at least another half hour.
Sorry, this is some phone call. That's how bad things actually were.
Is Tim Pool calling? Okay. Tell him I said hi.
I understand that the first time.
Versus this guy who's deeply flawed. We saw January 6th, everything, but there's all these issues. And I've tried to describe this dynamic to Brian, where there are certain things every voter is going to come at this with that are important to them. And they're asking themselves, which one of these people is more likely to contend with these things? And when you're listening to Kamala Harris, she doesn't sound like a real person. She won't do the long form conversations. It feels so fake. And there's fakeness in politics everywhere, and it gets maddening and frustrating. But
so you'd rather have somebody
who's a 34-count felon, liable assaulter as your president than Kamala Harris? Is it because Kamala Harris is black? Is she a black woman? Thank you very much, Dirk Diggler, for the Australian 10. Brian lies with a velvet grin, a silver tongue, a paper-thin spin. He swears the moon was his to keep, then cries alone when night runs deep. Thanks, ChatGPT. Yeah, that was pretty good, pretty poetic. I like that, Dirk Diggler. Thank you very much for the 10.
Warren, you'd rather have somebody do long form Q&As and just lie about everything? Is that better? Trump does a lot of that.
So when someone is not even willing, it's as though they can't, they're afraid they're going to be exposed if they sit down.
What happened in the debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump? Who won that debate?
You could say she had a good debate.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just what I'm talking about is the long form conversations, and given what happened with,
maybe I'm misremembering, but Kamala Harris had a good debate against Donald Trump.
Biden, and just this covering up what was happening, the evidence right in front of our eyes. I think that has a big impact.
You would rather have somebody in a press conference call a woman the B word and just attack people and call them Miss Piggy and lie about missiles going in school children and lying about the economy and lying about gas prices. But as long as they're doing
DEI, for example, is really important to me.
Of course it is. Why?
Why?
Yeah, I wonder why DEI is
because it's the only indication of institutional systemic racism that I can see or anyone can provide me. Yeah. And I'm against systemic racism.
Paul, what do you think about that, Paul? When every single time Warren comes on this show, he talks DEI. Paul, what does that mean?
That I care about DEI.
Well, I think of it as a tool or in his armory. I don't think of it as being the end game. I still think, in my heart, I have to believe in the goodness in people. And I don't believe anybody with a hand on heart would choose somebody like Trump over anybody, over a pound.
Yeah, and why should we care what this fucking guy from UK has to say about who our president is and about look at your own country. Why don't you focus on fixing your own country, which is going to hell right now?
Bacon. A pound of bacon.
Basis of my argument.
The pound of bacon, which I don't even have to buy because I live in the UK. But what about your pound of bacon, Warren, huh?
But I'm trying.
I mean, are they even still allowed to have bacon over there in the UK with all the Muslims there?
I'm trying to. There's so many variables that go into it.
Look at Brian. Like I said, he's like the 60s Batman villain, laughing as all of his henchmen and goons are fighting the Cape Crusaders there. Yeah.
A decision like that, and it's not that I just voted based on DEI.
Certainly protecting health isn't one of the variables, is it?
All right, I don't know.
Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, I'm hearing basically. I'm a mathematician, so the whole thing of variables, you're debating with the wrong guy on variables. Mathematicians, we make things simple. We don't think it sounds weird. We don't make things complicated. We make things simple. We're always trying to find the shortest point between two.
All right, who cares? Get back to the callers. After Andy or after Andrew
reined it in earlier, but he did like borders is a bumper about.
I understand.
My next YouTube videos.
UK caller to the caller speak.
No, I know. Hold on. No, I just got an idea. UK caller makes right-wing YouTuber speechless. I'm sorry, Paul. Please continue.
Man, Brian is really he is really freaking rattled by the YouTube titling and stuff. He really hates that. He's really bothered by it. He stays up at night how dare Warren Smith call his videos that? What a piece of shit. That's despicable.
So I think my point changed nightmare.
No indication.
Beautiful bill. We could talk about. You don't think private farmers?
You're describing things that are important to you, Brian. My point is that voters are going to have things that are important to them.
You don't think healthcare is important to everybody in this country? You don't think private sector? You're not getting. This isn't about me. I have a radio show. I'm thinking about others. That's the problem with people like you. You only think about you. I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about health care for all. I'm talking about Medicaid coverage.
This is a foolish strategy, man. If that's your response, is to just yell at the person when they're like, hey, I'm really concerned about this, and this, and this.
Americans, why is he
blah, blah, blah. You're not even listening to anything I'm saying.
You're not listening to anything I'm saying. Why is there approval numbers in the low 30s then? Some of the worst approval numbers of any president in American history. Doing think Donald Trump is going to help out these people printing $2 billion a day in a war in Iran, and why are Americans saying they're and by the way, that was a Fox News poll that came out where 60% of people said they're not happy with his handling of the economy. They're not happy with this war in Iran. Is he doing the
nothing to do with my point, Brian?
Of course you don't want to address what I'm saying. Of course
you're trying to debate what's happening right now. I'm talking about why people voted the way they did. They're two different topics. You don't want to contend with that, so you start debating about his approval rating right now.
Because you defend him in every aspect of everything.
You're not listening to anything I'm saying.
I'm listening to everything,
But why does Brian why does Warren have to? Let's say Warren actually did think everything Donald Trump did was great. He doesn't. But what if he did? So what? Why does Brian care? If Warren Smith thought Donald Trump was the greatest human being to have ever lived, who never does anything wrong, why does Brian care about that? Who cares? Who cares if Warren Smith thinks that? Brian, these people are so Trump deranged, they can't handle people liking Trump. They don't understand it because they've been fed all the bad propaganda. They really, truly believe Donald Trump is the worst human being to have ever existed. Worse than Hitler. Worse than anybody. Worse than freaking John Wayne Gacy or Jeffrey Dahmer. He's the worst human being to have ever lived. So when you have people like Warren Smith or mega supporters, and Warren Smith's not even a diehard mega supporter, but you just have someone that just doesn't think Trump's the worst and has positive things to say about him. They can't handle it. They don't understand it. So they need people like Warren Smith or us to criticize him on something. They have to, you have to say something bad about him, Meanwhile, Brian is the complete opposite. He actually thinks everything Donald Trump does is horrible. Like, he is actually the opposite of what he thinks Warren is. He thinks everything Donald Trump does is horrible. And so, like, he's actually the thing that he accuses Warren of being, just the opposite. He just thinks everything Donald Trump does is bad. So, like, honestly, like, I would challenge Brian, like, Brian, can you think of anything Donald Trump has done that you like, or you think is good or solid or anything? Do you just think every single thing he does is bad?
Every single word out of your mouth I'm listening to.
Ignore it.
No, you're just ignoring all those kitchen table issues that I brought up, and then you want to talk about immigration because you want all the brown people out of the country. Paul, I'll give you the last word. Go ahead.
Hey, thank you very much, Lisa, for the 5. Haven't laughed this hard in a long time. Well, thank you very much, Lisa. Glad you're enjoying and having fun.
It comes back to I get
Bad things have gotten in this dynamic to
think
just
a
say
lot of-
forget it,
agree for sure.
vote, and just not even have a dialogue.
I think a lot of people are the.
Well, actually, I agree. I agree to some extent with what Warren's saying. I do believe that certainly the first time Trump was voted in, it was a rebellious type of vote against the system. I see that for sure.
Yeah, but here's the
second
theme.
time, I
Deeply-
believe
Yeah,
that
I didn't vote for him the first time.
Deeply flawed and dangerous, but Kamala's cackle, and she didn't do enough press conferences. That makes sense.
Dude,
But
there's such a gross mischaracterization and oversimplification.
well, good. Get used to
and
it.
an honest attempt to try and articulate
Now
something
you
very
know.
important.
Now you know how I feel with every single one of your titles and YouTube videos about me, Warren. So get used to
You're
it because
still
now I'll-
making it just about.
So hold on,
Oh.
Paul. Before I let you go, Paul, we're trying to have some fun here.
Yeah.
I know that Warren's not used to that and laughing and having a personality, but Paul, give him a title that's something of this video that you think would work. And listen, it doesn't have to be pro Brian, right? We're taking calls here, and what do you think a good title?
I think it's the line from. I think you want me to suggest the title for this video.
For his video, yeah, not mine. For his.
Yes. UK man debates Warren and suggests saving the planet's more important than our personal views.
Ooh, that's a good one. Warren, will you take that under?
How is it that the freaking the special ed callers that how is it that the special ed callers before actually had better titles than the UK guy? What does that say about this guy?
Advisement, perhaps.
I'll consider it.
I don't think Warren's
That's the
gonna
first
use
one.
that.
That's the first one he said he would consider. So I think we're making progress, Paul.
No,
I
it's an interesting point, and it's one that everyone that casts a vote, not everyone, but I think many people like me grapple with, because
Yeah.
you're right, it could go awry. Many people today are regretting that, but you even if you were to go back in time, given the
Yeah, I think that's a better title, Nova. UK man wants to save the planet before his own country. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
information we have at that time, I wouldn't do it any differently.
Mhm. I'm sure you wouldn't. If the elections were held tomorrow, would you still vote for Donald Trump over Kamala?
Because
Yeah.
this is what I've been thinking about. It's like, man, because also I don't know how it is going to.
See, like this seems like it's always seems to be about submission from these people, like Brian. Like that's why they want you to admit something, like say something bad now, say it. Admit that 2 + 2 is what is it? What was it? The Star Trek thing? There are 4 circles or whatever it was. Like that's what they're doing, and they're like, and now say it, Warren. Would you vote for Trump today over Kamala if the elections were held today? Say it, Warren. Bow down, kneel before me, and admit that, Warren. If seriously, you got to stop. Like Warren shouldn't give anything to Brian. He should just be like, I would. I don't know why he's trying to act like nuance, as if Brian isn't just a TDS Spurg with serious TDS affliction here. Like even though he knows that Brian's a locale, he's still trying to talk to him as if he's still like legitimate, but he's not.
Go in Iran. There's a chance this could be the right move. I don't get it. I don't see how it is going to work. It could go really wrong, but there is a chance that it might. We need to be honest about that. It might.
And the
work,
5
but
lights.
It has
reality.
a year and a half into
Reality doesn't work in that way. Where it's like
You don't think it's gone wrong
there's
to this
just no way to.
fired his DHS. He's fired.
I wouldn't, man. I wouldn't. Honestly, I wouldn't take Kamala Harris, even with given that Iran has now. If it were to go nuclear, that's why I ask myself. It's like, wow, Warren. All right, if this were to go nuclear, would you go back and change? And I change how you voted. And it's a really I mean, because obviously it's like, well, yes, I would vote against nuclear war, obviously, but it's I don't.
That's more important. Let's go to Andrew from Rhode Island. Andrew's calling in next from Rhode Island. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, Brian, how we doing today?
What's up? You're on with my man over here, Warren Smith. What's going on? We're having fun.
I am. Warren, big fan. Really like the way you think things through. Really enjoy it. But Brian, you still haven't fixed the phone line yet.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're working on that. My apologies. My apologies, my friend. We're working on that.
So,
hey, can I ask you
Warren,
a question? What would be worse if we played elevator music, if you're put on hold, or having to listen to Warren for 5 hours? Be honest.
I prefer to just listen to the show.
Okay. All right. Fair answer. Fair characters. I'm just having fun with Warren. You know,
I know.
I'm
So,
teasing Warren a little
Warren,
bit because I think he deserves it, and I think Warren's being a good sport about it. Go ahead, caller.
Sure. So Warren, I got Brian to admit the other day that he signs his name differently every time he signs it. So how can we trust mail-in voting when it's all just based off the signature? How does that work? Because you're a critical thinker.
If that's the reality of it, if you can't, I'm a big proponent of ID. I don't understand the argument for no voter ID. It baffles me.
Personally, I think you should have to use ID to buy bread, and according to Todd Blanche, you need to show ID to go into a restaurant. So I would totally be okay with those as well. Let's go to Jack. Jack is next up on PTL. Hi.
That was it? Wow, he really did just hang up on you after that. I can't believe it. All right, I'm going to go to the end here. There's not that much, and I'm not sure if there's anything else we're missing, but we're going to go to the end. Let's see how him and Warren ended off. I see Andrew Wilson. Did Andrew get mentioned?
Thanks, Jason. I appreciate the call. Warren, is there any chance you'll use that one?
No.
No chance at all? Darn.
I see Andrew's comment right here. Andrew, the logical one. Brian can't debate smart people. Yeah, that's true.
Well, Warren, I don't know. I would never characterize it as you getting laughed off the show or laughed off the stage, but I do appreciate you coming on and having some fun.
Jack had a good call. Was it good? Okay, because where's Jack? Is it the one? Because I gotta go soon, guys.
I haven't thought about it. I'm not sure why I would.
Yeah, I think I know why others do, but people can make their own estimations on that. Let's go to Fish Taco. There's a guy by the name of Fish. That's an interesting name. Fish Taco, you're up. Go right ahead.
Hey, what's up, Brian? Love you, man.
Thank you.
Hey, Warren, what's up?
What's up?
Hey, what's going on, man? Listen, can you tell me what was Trump's?
It was before Fish. Okay, I'll listen to that one.
I got it. Sorry.
Go ahead.
How you doing, Brian?
Go ahead. Hi, Michael. Go right ahead.
I got a title for a video.
Okay.
You can Michelle Obama mushroom gobbler spurgs while interviewing Warren.
They're using my Michael's. It's funny, but that is funny, by the way. Going this very much. Let's go to Michael. Michael is next.
I know that argument is made. But I haven't looked at the statistics, so I don't think I have made that argument. I know many people do. I see policies because I don't know this.
That you think Warren should use for his next YouTube video about me?
I
don't think there's any chance of that.
No.
Yeah.
No. Brian Shapiro.
Let's go to Michael. Michael is next.
Okay, I can't find. Listen, guys, I don't really have a lot of time left. So look, I don't want to go searching. And for this Jack guy, there's a few calls I skipped over. I can't pinpoint it. Okay. Like, unless you have an exact timestamp or something, like, I don't want to keep going back and forth.
If I do another conversation where I don't have
is this it?
3 is the number to call. Let's go to Jeffrey.
I wish we could
Jeffrey
have heard his question. It was kind of
it's not a serious question. I could care less if people are meditating or how can you possibly do this interview, Warren? You must be a meditator.
Literally, you just stopped him from talking. You just shut him down
because it's a stupid question. That's why I can shut whoever I want down, just like you can title lies about me anytime you want. And I can't shut you down for doing that. I could just criticize.
It was those years, like 2016 in graduate school, those 3 years.
Warren,
the fact that everyone in my life disagrees with me. All my closest friends, my family, my brother now agrees with me, but that I think.
Warren, hang on 1 second. Warren, just hang on 1 second. Hang on 1 second. Caller, hang on 1 second. Caller, stop talking. Jesus. Warren, hang on 1 second. Caller, you're the one that is listening to this show. You're the one that decided to use your little Trump fingers to call into the show. So now,
Your little Trump
what do you do to
fingers?
meditate? Because nobody's forcing you to listen to the show and call in. I'll ask you the same
Well,
question.
honestly, it's been a really good exercise for me because I've listened to just
If you have
a lot of.
It's been an exercise for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I've noticed myself just kind of be more confused rather than anything.
Well, I can understand that.
Warren,
I can understand why you would be confused when the one question you ask Warren is, "Do you meditate?" That's a very normal question that you ask her. But thank you for the engagement and thank you for calling in. And I'm glad I got you to exercise, because it wouldn't surprise me if you were another one of those MAGA supporters that have the physique of a Donald Trump. But I appreciate you calling in. I'm glad I could get you to exercise, sir. Stupid question. 702-221-7283 is the number to call. Let's go to Jeffrey.
I wish we could have heard his question. It was kind of.
Well, you know, it's not a serious question. I could care less if people.
That's freaking funny. All right, let's see how the
I've
end
done a poll on YouTube before. You would know this. Is there a way to do that on YouTube, or just put out a video and ask people with comments?
I don't know. I've never done it.
I've done that on Twitter, but I've never done that on YouTube. So I don't know if there's a way to do it on YouTube. I mean, I guess I can do both. I don't know. I can try Twitter too. All right, Warren. Well, I look forward to your next title. I think we have an idea what's going to be.
I can't believe this whole thing was just about Warren Smith's titles, dude. He was so buttered over the titles. Like, dude, like honestly, like of all the things that he lectures Warren Smith about, he was really like, those titles. How dare you? Those titles. But Brian Shapiro does the same thing. Like, look, let's look through freaking his page right here, shall we? Let's look through his own page. Look at this. Look at this. This got weird. Trump mushroom gobbler says this internet erupts. Mega caller stuns host with a shocking take on Iran. What, were you really stunned, Brian? Were you like, stunned right there? Trump's golf comments resurface. This
Newsmax earlier
looks bad. Kids react on ABC. Okay, and it says caught on camera. Let's see. Let's look through this. Where's the video section at? Adam Moxler put Scott's Jennings. I can't read that. Mark Wayne Mullins comments on. Okay, I can't read that. Mehdi Hassan wrecks Michael Knowles in live debate. Did he really wreck him, Brian? Or was that a lie? Mehdi Hassan destroys Michael Knowles in live debate. Did he destroy him? Was Michael Knowles on the stage just completely destroyed and dismantled? Why is Donald Trump allowed to be around children in this? Oh, what are you trying to infer there, Brian Shapiro? That he's a PDF file? You know, I know you call him that like nothing. Mega drunk caller laughs at Iran war. Did he really laugh at the Iran war? Or Brian, or did you take controversy, blah, blah, blah. Mega caller embarrassed after simple fact check. Oh, was he embarrassed? Did you know? Was he really embarrassed? And then look at the clickbait thumbnails. Shocking claims. Mega ballroom lies. Dubbus mega gun fix. He got caught. Mehdi destroys Knowles. Mehdi wrecks Knowles. Instant regret. Oh, did he instantly regret that? Wait, what did that one say? CNN debate goes off the rails as Mockler shuts it down. Did Mockler really shut down the show, Brian? Did it go off the rails? Was a CNN debate like a train on rails and then it went off the rails? Did that happen, Brian? Like, honestly, see, he does the same thing. He does the same thing. Brian's thumbnails are facts. Yeah, sure they are. But yeah, so he does exactly the same thing as everyone else does because it's YouTube. Again, you have to make them kind of a sensationalist in order to make people click. Okay, people kind of know by now not to take them 100% literal here. Okay, they know that. And if there's someone that's going overboard, making them too clickbaity, like promising things, and it doesn't deliver on it, like then people stop watching. People are like, okay, I know not to believe this, and then they stop watching. All right, but it's like tabloids. You have to make them just enough to make people want to watch it. But that's all it is. It's not that deep, Brian. It's not that deep. No one is looking at Warren Smith's thumbnails and being like, oh my gosh, speechless? Holy cow, Brian Shapiro just stopped talking. He had no more speech. Holy cow, I have to watch this. Like, no one thinks that. And so I don't know why Brian was so offended by that. Honestly, it's so ridiculous. The most sensitive man on YouTube, Brian Shapiro. Ken, thank you very much for the $2. Look at what Wilson's did to the poor guy. Exactly. They've broken him. They've broken him. But what did you guys think about this hilarious exchange? I thought this was hilarious. Seeing Brian get so butthurt and his face turn red, then seeing his R-slurred callers calling in and trying to own Warren. It was pretty hilarious. Again, I don't know why Warren goes back on here. I don't know why Brian keeps having him back on, since apparently Warren Smith is so boring. But he keeps inviting him back on for some reason. What did you guys think about this? Sound off in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys later. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, did you enjoy that video? I hope you did. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe, or else you're gay. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. I'm just trying to save you from sin. Also, make sure you catch the Cool Stream live Mondays through Fridays right here on my YouTube channel, and make sure you follow me at any of these links down below for everything Cool Vic.